if I have to go back and forth like 3 times, I'll be right? No point doing 23 hours just
Brenda's not
No,
gonna.
you're right. No, you're right.
He just said
Well,
that.
and it's-
That's the forum.
Needs to go around. And second of all, my biggest
Why can't it be 2 to 1?
in my department is blind.
Why can't it be 2 to 1?
I think I have people that, and you know, you can tell. I have to know that blind copy.
I know you want.
Don't, blind copy everybody behind my back.
I gotta silence myself. Silence yourself.
I almost refuse to do it. What are you doing?
I know.
Yeah, I almost refuse to do it. Like, I said, I'm not.
Oh, I was happy to come and say hi. Start calling you. Good thing you didn't say hi. Yeah, but them out there. Oh, we have to have one more. Cash back.
I wonder if this is just the Fed money.
You made your grandson?
Jane was just looking for you.
My great grandfather.
I'm
Well,
not
we
sure.
don't-
I think it is just bad.
We don't separate.
That's my granddaughter.
It all is. Well, I don't know. Your predecessors way back, like 20 years ago.
Warren. Warren. W-A-R-R.
Oh, we
You don't know.
Yeah. 6 pounds, 5 ounces. Yeah.
But all of those things.
Hi, Miss Cammy. How are you, ma'am?
Tell what is federal funds.
Yes, ma'am.
Come on, Alex. Okay, I was just gonna ask.
All right.
Coordinated yours back.
Hello.
Okay.
They can go right to Carrie. Yep. Lots of speakers. I don't know, I guess. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, he was here. Sorry.
I guess so.
What's up?
What to do and not do in the workforce, like
Yeah.
Because if it's not, you're right.
really nice.
No, we'll get it.
Hopefully we can fulfill whatever.
Because it gets it, but it gets this is what
We need to hurry up and get the word out there.
well, when it comes in,
Let them begin to
Right.
and that might be
Yeah, because you'll get it from the market.
live challenge with some of the applications.
Yeah, it's 10 to 1. I might get it on my one of my savings.
Big three. Good afternoon, sir. Your phone is on, man. Yo, the sound.
I will say, where I am, take care of it this way. They go swimming, she can watch it, still do outdoors and watch it.
We get a good crowd here. I want to let them know how well we did.
Yeah, I saw you guys' pictures and everything. I think it was wonderful.
Nice to see you again. I put my papers in last week.
Is it correct?
The one the other day.
You, brother, how the hell are you, sir? Very well, thank you.
We were thinking about it. We didn't know if we needed it.
How are you?
Hey, good, you?
Good. Good.
Three of us tonight. We're doing set.
Oh, okay. I was looking at something. Had a productive meeting yesterday.
Yeah, well, what's the name of that building?
So we gotta have a 3-0 vote, man.
Hanging out at the beach. Nice pool there.
Make sure you tell them, over we all must agree on this.
I can lose the weight I can.
I mean, it has to be a 3-0 vote.
At least in the water I can go.
From Alpha to Omega, sir.
How does the village?
That's right, man. We all on the same team, bro.
Yeah, we're on the same. I don't like to see a crowd like this.
That's good.
Make sure you silence the
That
telephone,
time,
please.
sir. Whenever you're ready, Mr. Mayor.
I can tell you twice.
That's it. Let's make it happen.
They'll confiscate them.
Samantha's going to get minutes.
Right?
Yes. What?
I just don't silence your cell phone or we'll confiscate them.
Yeah, turn mine off. Mine's off.
Man, Matthew,
That's what I'm
in
gonna
reference of your,
We'll make that, then I'll make an amendment to the presentation and have trash bash. The number one item, and then we'll move everything else down
the
one.
thing for the dedication,
Long time away.
You're the mayor.
I know, but no. Yeah, I know. I just want to make sure we get Mrs.
Okay.
Hey, just do your thing.
This way, man. We've had sex. Man. I'll tell you what we had.
Okay.
Here.
What we had it for Ed, and we had it for my man when we dedicated the band shell. It was mayor. I know. Mark it. Hey, I'll contribute.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
You know I
I'll
will.
get the next piece.
Yeah, man.
Checks in the mail.
Tony's keep on winning. Kyle keeps on winning. Dang, that's 2 in a row.
You know, the good thing is Tony's undefeated this season.
Yeah, he hasn't lost. So is Jeff Gordon.
He's retired. He wins every week.
So is Tony then.
How you doing tonight?
He's batting 1,000.
Yes, I know he wins every week.
I will get you an answer on somebody hopefully tomorrow. I think they're going to get working on it. It's worthy. He's already done it. Some is a midnight shift.
Okay,
So, I mean,
I just want to make sure that Matt knows. I was talking to Jack.
I'm gonna figure out.
I was trying to, I mean, it would probably be easier to see the same person.
I'm ready when you're ready, brother.
I'm ready to.
Waiting for Sam.
You're just basically using them as
I'm ready to.
Here's Sam.
prop, right? If not him, I might be able to get
And the Wildcats in the house tonight. If you're a Wildcat, raise your hand. Only one Wildcat in the whole entire. Okay, all right. Okay. Matt. Okay, right on. Yes, sir, brother. That's right. You're a Wildcat, man. You're good to go, bro.
What's up, Jack? How you doing? Oh, Mara, how you doing? More importantly, doing okay? Yeah. Good to hear. It's good to hear.
No.
Taking care of those water issues? Yes, sir.
See ya.
Taking care of all those water issues?
Sam's going to be under my
My school board record.
Yeah.
She's going to ask.
They're going to be there.
I'll take it.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
Hey,
I wouldn't
man.
like it. Everybody ready?
Yes, sir.
Talking?
Okay.
Everybody's over here?
I got what you're saying. You got it right here.
Yeah, it was hard.
But
Great.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor.
Yes, sir. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for coming. Sorry we're a little late. Miss Warner won't be here tonight. She's under the weather like I am, and Tyler Parrish won't be here tonight. We're going to move forward. Mr. Blake, can you do the invocation for us?
Yes, will everyone rise, please? Mr. Mayor, it's your blessings and council blessings. We do have a ram in the bush. That's right. Could we bring Pastor Jarvis forward, please, sir?
Sure.
We have a man of the cloth in the house.
Jarvis,
We have 2. That's right. He's from Cocoa, and then we also have Reverend Ron Shelton in the house too as well. Right. Go ahead.
Eternal God, our Father, we thank you so much for this time together tonight. We pray, God, that you would continue to bless the city of Cocoa as you have for forever. We are so grateful to be here. We pray that you would just continue to bring unity, to bring protection to our citizens, to all of the staff and those who serve this great city. It's in your name we pray. Everybody say,
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you.
Amen.
Thanks, Jarvis.
Face the flag. I pledge allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Ready?
Carrie?
Mayor Parrish,
Here.
Deputy Mayor Bovair,
Here.
Councilman Blake,
Present, ma'am.
Councilman Furbish, Councilwoman Warner, City Attorney Garganese.
Here.
City Manager Takanich,
Present.
and Assistant City Manager Fuhr.
Here.
Thank you.
That's pretty funny. That's good.
Before we do the approval of the agenda and minutes, I'd like to make an adoption for the under awards and presentation, move number 1, 2, and 3 down one slot, and add at number 1, the trash bash presentation. And then for number 6, we're going to add the presentation by
Samantha Singer.
Samantha Singer will do a presentation on number 6.
United Way.
Second.
Although, yeah,
Oh, he's not done yet.
okay, second, yeah,
I second his motion.
yeah,
Okay, motion? A motion?
yeah.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay.
Now I'd like to make a motion that we approve the regular meeting of April 12th as presented with the amendments. Approve the minutes of the regular meeting of March 8, 2016 as written, and approve the minutes of the regular meeting of March 22nd as written.
And the agenda?
Motion to approve.
Second, sir.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Did you get the agenda now?
Hmm?
Did you get the agenda?
Yes, he did say agenda. He did.
I
He
missed
did.
Right? I did the agenda,
Yes,
correct?
he did. You did,
Good
sir.
job, Don. My fault. Okay, we're moving forward. So we're going to go with trash bash. Gail?
Good evening, Mayor, Council. It's nice
Good
to be here. I'm Gail Van Tugen, Leisure Services Manager for the City of Cocoa, and this is Nadasha. She's our event coordinator. We're going to talk a little bit about Trash Bash, which is this weekend. But first, I want to give maybe like a 30-second history of kind of what Trash Bash is. Every spring from March to May, across the United States, under the leadership of Keep America Beautiful Incorporated and the Great American Cleanup, they mobilize more than 2 million volunteers to make our neighborhoods more beautiful, safer, and healthier places to live. For the past 33 years, Brevard County has joined Keep Brevard Beautiful in the community to help clean up the unsightly litter. As a result of the actions taken by the volunteers during Trash Bash, our communities look cleaner, more beautiful, and there's a sense of community pride. Along with that pride comes a spirit of a friendly competition to recruit volunteers to reduce the amount of litter. This year, we have 302 participants registered to help clean up our city. We welcome you to join in the fun this Saturday. It's on April 16th from 8 to 12 o'clock. The cleanup begins at 8 a.m. in your assigned areas, and it will conclude at 11, where you will actually come back to Riverfront Park. You'll turn in all of your supplies, and you'll have lunch with all the volunteers. If you can't make it out this weekend, you can also donate $6, and that will help sponsor one of the registered volunteers to get a Keep Brevard Beautiful t-shirt. If you would like to donate or participate, you can contact Nadasha at Leisure Services, and she'll arrange your assignment and your supply pickup and your donation. Nadasha, did you want to say anything?
We actually have 4 outstanding groups that are going to get back with us, so we may end up with 400 volunteers this year.
Okay, fantastic.
All right, great.
Thank you, ladies.
Mr. Mayor, can I ask a question?
Yes, sir.
Traditionally, I know we're turning a new leaf, but I'm used to the costumes or something, shirts or...
Yeah, shirts or, ball cap or garbage can wrapped around you or
The
something.
garbage can has been recycled.
So eloquently stated.
Yes, it's been recycled, so.
We'll see you
All right,
Saturday.
well, we hope we see everybody out this weekend.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Okay.
next year.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. That's pretty fun. Jack?
Yes, sir, thank you. I'm going to go ahead and read the proclamation. Whereas water is a basic and essential need of every living creature, and whereas clean and sustainable water resources are vital to Florida's environment, economy, and quality of life, and whereas more than 90% of Florida's drinking water is supplied by underlying aquifers, and our quality of life and the economy depend upon a reliable, clean, and available supply of water and a healthy environment, and whereas the City of Cocoa is working with the St. Johns River Water Management District, State of Florida, other water management districts, local governments, and water supply utilities to increase awareness about the importance of water conservation and to increase efforts to conserve water, whereas the City of Cocoa has always encouraged and supported water conservation, through its water supply planning process, coordination of educational programs and special events, its implementation of a tiered water rate, and development of a reclaimed water system for irrigation. And whereas all water users, including residential, commercial, industrial, agricultural, institutional, hospitality, private citizens, and others can make positive contributions to reduce water use and protect Florida's water resources. Whereas the governor and cabinet of the state of Florida have designated April as Florida's Water Conservation Month to encourage Floridians to conserve the state's precious water resources. And whereas the city of Cocoa joins the St. Johns River Water Management District in encouraging and supporting water conservation. And now, therefore, the City Council of the City of Cocoa does hereby deem it fitting and proper to proclaim the month of April 2016 as Water Conservation Month in the City of Cocoa, Florida, and encourage all of its citizens to help protect this precious resource by utilizing water savings measures. Wherefore, I have set unto my hand and caused the seal of the City of Cocoa to be affixed this first day of April 2016. Henry U. Parrish, III, Mayor. Thank you, sir.
Jack, thanks. And we're going to mention the #1 water tower in the nation. Okay. Thanks, Jack. That's important.
I was watching TV and it was on
Okay. Right. Okay. John, Winter City Manager. Sister City.
I think they're doing the presentation themselves, Sister City president.
No, well, come on.
Kathy.
Yeah, Kathy is. Okay, good. Ron here?
Yeah,
Ron here?
and President White is here too as well.
Okay.
I don't see Ron.
He's there.
Yes?
Yes,
He's here.
he's over there.
How you guys doing?
He's not that short, I can't see him.
Okay, Chris told me how to do this. Let's see if I can.
You can do it.
I pressed
And Susan's
F5.
back there too.
Okay. Good evening, Honorable Mayor, council members. As some of you may remember, but probably can't pronounce my name, Kathy Marty Rosian, and I'm here again as a representative of the Sister City program of Cocoa, Florida, and Beit Shemesh, Israel. I have a few special guests with me today that I'm going to introduce in just one moment. For those who don't know, Cocoa does have a sister city. It is Beit Shemesh, Israel, located toward the heart of Israel. And I just want to share a fun fact about our sister city. Beit Shemesh is the youngest 4,000-year-old city in Israel. Modern Beit Shemesh was founded only 57 years ago and today has a population approaching 80,000 people. Over 60% are under the age of 21.
Wow.
And that's because of the immigration that comes into that city. Wow. So I thought that would be interesting. I'm going to share something with you each time, okay? This is an excerpt from our Sister City mission statement. We have a mission to meet and develop personal relationships with the citizens of Beit Shemesh, Israel, through meaningful exchanges of people, ideas, cultural knowledge, and understanding. We also want to raise up the next generation of peacemakers in Cocoa and its surrounding communities in Beit Shemesh, creating peace and understanding in a turbulent world, working with youth in schools and community programs in the Cocoa area and Beit Shemesh, utilizing technology, the arts, literature, and sports. So with that in mind, Sister City has arranged for an Israel Peace Ambassador Tour 2016. We are bringing 30 people from the Brevard County area, many of them from the city of Cocoa itself. We will be visiting as a delegation here from our city December 14th to the 25th this year. We'll send the delegation. The highlight of this tour is that we will actually be staying in the homes of many of our Beit Shemesh counterparts. It's a highlight in many ways as we get to develop relationships with them, and it cuts the price of the tour in half. So that's a benefit. Amongst the 30 people that we are bringing, I have several of them right here, but you'll see a picture of the Sister City program Shalom Dancers. Did you know that you guys have a dance team representing the city? So, yay! These young ladies will be going as part of the delegation. And what I'm going to do is very briefly, I'm going to let the three that are here stand up and just introduce themselves, tell them their age and where they're from.
Hi, my name is Alina. I am 21 and I'm from Merritt Island.
Good evening. My name is Elizabeth. I'm 22 years old and I'm from Cocoa.
Yeah.
Hello, my name is Selena Brown. I'm 16 and I'm from Cocoa.
Yeah. Good. Very good.
I knew you'd like to hear those Cocos.
Oh, absolutely.
And these are the other beautiful young women, beautiful and talented and smart young women that we will be bringing with us. These young ladies, very smart, they do many different styles of dance and have represented our Sister City program in a number of different venues around the county. And this is just some highlights of what they have done, some at EFSC, some here in the Cocoa Civic Center, at the King Center, and so forth. They have been invited to dance in various places in Israel, including on the top of Masada, one of the most popular tourist destinations in all of Israel. That's really cool. As part of this, we are fundraising. So we are letting you know that the girls will be involved in fundraising all year and encouraging you in any way that you can to get the word out to help us raise funds to bring these young ladies to Israel. The cost is $2,000 apiece. They have cards that they'll share with you. And the front and here's the back page. Explains a little bit. When they go over there, they're going as ambassadors on behalf of Cocoa and Brevard County. When they return, they will be ambassadors on the part of Israel and being able to speak the truth about Israel, our only democratic ally in the Middle East. We are doing a number of fundraisers. I just wanted to let you and everyone else who's here know the girls will be teaching summer dance camps. So if there's any young boys or girls that would be interested in these, we will be getting the information out. I'll work with Samantha. Maybe we can get some information out through the city website and so forth to make these available. Also, it's not up here, but you are all going to get invitations to our fundraising Zumba party. Okay? Yes. 2 hours of Zumba, then we'll scrape you off the floor. And
It won't take 2 hours.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Scrape me off the floor, too. These girls will still be going strong. So we're doing movie nights, we're doing dance camps, we're doing Zumba nights, and a lot of different things to raise money. We'll be very, very busy. Mayor Parrish, this is your official invitation, sir, to join us. You have been invited by the mayor over in Beit Shemesh, and we would love to have you join, and you can dance with us or not.
Second.
But then you second that, okay, all right. So this is your official invitation, and we thank you for the opportunity. We will be back. I will be back to give you highlights of what's going on with the fundraising, and I'd like to work with the city in any way. If you need dancers for any event that these girls can help out with, you just let us know. We would be happy to represent the city on behalf of the Sister City program. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate it. Thank you for coming.
Mr. Mayor, can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
Could you, Kathy, share some light on what happened April 10th about 5 p.m., ma'am? What you guys did this past Sunday?
Yes, sir. We had a Sister City membership night at Temple Israel in Vieira. And in the past, we'd had 40, 50, 60 people show for a membership night. We had well over 100 show. So there is growing interest in the Sister City program on all parts of the county. The girls did dance and did collect offerings and donations at that time. So it was an extremely successful event. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Kathy.
Job well done.
Very good. Sam, I thought Matt was coming up.
No, Matt's coming.
Lead the board.
No, this is my project.
That's right.
Oh, okay.
Oh, pass the bucket.
Okay.
Okay.
It's the A-team.
While this is coming up, I will start. Thank you, Mayor and Council. Over the last 6 months, I have had the privilege of working with a dynamic group of community leaders through Lead Brevard. Lead Brevard is an organization that trains and connects leaders throughout our community. Over the summer, the City of Cocoa submitted a project for consideration to Lead Brevard. We were accepted and presented to a group of over 50 leaders our community survey project. The leaders were broken up into small groups and chose one of the 8 selected projects. Our group consists of Julie Adamson from Hospice of St. Francis, Brian Blanchard from the Canaveral Port Authority, Eileen Brzezowski, not even going to try that one, from Eastern Florida State College, Suzanne Cummins from the United Way of Brevard, who happens to be our actual United Way representative, Veronica Dent from Parrish Medical Center, Ben Glover from National Realty, and Mr. Jarvis Wash from the Real Church. So as you can see, there was a good mix of community leaders in our group. We had a very nice group of leaders. This group of community leaders has been working hard over the past 6 months to prepare, market, distribute, tabulate, and present the results of this very important community survey that will serve as a base as we embark on our strategic plan. They have chosen a handful of the 40 questions from the survey to present to you tonight, and I have given you each a copy of the results at your section, so you'll have a copy of the results from all of the questions, and they're just going to present a few of the answers and results. So without further ado, I will let them come up and give their presentation.
Great. Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor and members of the council. My name is Ben Glover, and I'm going to start us off. So over the last 6 months, as she stated, we have worked together. We've met twice a month, and we have researched, developed, and executed a community survey for the City of Cocoa. We were able to distribute these surveys not only to locals, but also visitors of the area. We got these surveys out through the water bills, the school system, local school or libraries, churches, and several special events held here in the City of Cocoa, like Marty Paws and the Chowder Cook-Off, which was actually held at the port. We collected over 675 surveys, we collected over 675 surveys from residents, visitors, and business owners. And we really focused on 7 categories: crime, image, community development, economic development, fiscal sustainability, employees, and public safety. So I'm going to pass it on here.
Thank you.
Bless you.
Good evening, Mayor and Council.
Good evening.
The survey targeted individuals who live, work, play, and pray here in the City of Cocoa. The purpose of the survey, again, was to give residents, business owners, and visitors who come to the city to shop, dine, and attend special events another way to communicate their perceptions of the quality of life of the City of Cocoa. Additionally, the survey will be used as a baseline for city leaders and staff members to measure and improve the delivery of services to the community. The first question on the survey asks the individuals to identify themselves, as you see here on this chart, either resident, visitor, or Cocoa business owner. 70% of the respondents represents about 473 completed surveys. 21% of individuals completing were visitors, and that's approximately 145 completed surveys. And Cocoa business owners completed about 8% of the collected surveys. Over 50 surveys were collected. And then we had several that were blank, and that represents at 1%. This slide here represents the breakdown of where the respondents live throughout the city. One of the challenges identified by the city staff was to have input from within the underserved areas, not just vocal citizens or special interest groups. About 4% of the population returned surveys, and every area within Cocoa was represented. as shown here on this slide. The highest concentration, as you can see, are areas 5 and 1, and from outside, over 140 surveys from visitors to the city. Thank you.
Thank you. Jarvis?
I'm back. Okay, I was going the wrong way at first. I want to talk about civic engagement. It was the first strategic issue we looked at was civic engagement. How will the city foster citizen engagement, especially for those who are near and dear to our hearts, underserved and disadvantaged? We asked 6 questions, and we chose 2 key responses. 52% said excellent to good on effectiveness of communication. I think those signs are great right there in front of the police department, as well as up under the tower. That added a nice ring to getting the word out. But only 25. We found out that only 25% have attended a council meeting or town hall. So that was something, an area to look at. It may be good for council, but not good for everybody getting the word out. And then community development. The next strategic issue to look at was community development or redevelopment of the city's core. How will the city raise the quality of life for all its residents, especially those vulnerable and disadvantaged? We asked 9 questions in this area from perspective of Cocoa as a place to raise children, retire, purchase housing, and other quality of life issues. Have said that it was an excellent or good place to live. Another 30% said it was fair. So, but as a place to visit, more than 55% said excellent to good, with another 25% in that fair range. And we just want people to come to Cocoa and we want people to come to Cocoa and really get involved. So those are the slides, and we were excited to do this. Thank you.
Thanks, Jarvis.
Good evening.
Good evening.
All right, so the next key results, how will the city continue to reduce crimes against persons and property to provide an environment where every citizen, business, and visitors feel safe? That's another strategic issue that the city is trying to address. Through our research, we reduced the survey to 6 questions about crime, from the quality and trust of the Cocoa Police Department to whether or not the respondent had been a victim of a crime and frequency of patrolling. Here are 2 key results about how residents feel about their safety during the day and after dark. You can see that 71% said they feel very safe or somewhat safe during the day, and more than half, 55%, felt that way after dark. Only 7% said they felt unsafe in the day. How will the city increase its economic position within the Space Coast region to be more competitive in retaining and attracting private capital investment, businesses, and jobs? That's another strategic issue of concern. This time, we reduced the number of questions on the survey to 3, asking about job growth, opportunities, and types of businesses and services located in Cocoa. Here you see that most, 65% of respondents, felt that the city's economic growth was excellent to fair, with more than half of those, 35%, rating it as excellent or good. About 14% didn't know or didn't answer. As far as job opportunities, in Cocoa, 58% of respondents said that opportunities were excellent to fair, with 19% in the excellent to good category. And then, how will the city develop a financially sustainable revenue base and control expenses to support the delivery of high-quality municipal services? Another strategic issue that we'll take a look at. We asked 4 questions addressing fiscal sustainability, from how do you rate the city's ability to budget and prioritize expenditures to the value and service for the taxes paid to Cocoa and support of various fiscal efforts. Here we take a look at how respondents would allocate public funds, with 1 being the highest priority. And here's how the services fell out in terms of importance as ranked by the respondents.
Great, thank you.
Good evening.
The sixth strategic issue that we looked at was image, and the key question to the city here is, how will the city improve its image, both physically and emotionally? We had 4 questions that we looked at here, trying to garner information about how survey respondents perceived Coco's image in relation to other cities in Brevard, and if they saw it as a good place to live. And for key results here for the question, how do you rate the overall image or reputation of Coco? 63% had positive respondents of fair, good, or excellent, and of that, 35% rated it good or excellent. To the question, I am proud to be a resident of Coco, over half, 53%, agree or strongly agree with that statement. And the 7th and last key strategic issue is public safety. And the question facing the city here is, how will the city ensure that public safety resources are strategically allocated to provide the most effective and efficient delivery of public services? We had 3 questions here. We did solicit information about whether or not survey respondents had had interaction with police and fire departments in the past year, and if so, how they rated their experience. The overarching question here was, do you feel there's adequate public safety presence in Coco? And 53% of the respondents said yes to that question. So that covers the 7 topics, so I'll hand it over to Ryan for our summary.
Good evening. Just wanted to say thank you for the opportunity to letting us help the city with this. I think I speak for the entire group that we learned a lot. It was certainly a pleasure. I would also be remiss to say it wouldn't be nearly the success it was without the help of incredible Samantha. I want to thank her. She was there every step of the way. She helped us with lots of questions, lots of resources. What we do is hope you can take the information, and it'll help you as you develop plans and address the needs and aspirations of the city of Cocoa. So thanks again.
Gosh, thank you very, very much.
And like he said, that's the end of the presentation, but I did want to say thank you to this great group of leaders who chose our project. There were 8 other projects to choose from, and they chose Cocoa as their project, and that shows a lot, and I think it adds a lot that they are from all over the county, and that they chose our project. So thank you guys very much. This survey is an important tool for our community as we start our strategic plan, and we will hopefully use this tool again in the next maybe 3 years or 5 years to see where we're progressing in our plan. So are there any questions?
Stay right there for a second.
Okay.
Mr. City Manager, you want to say something?
I just want to also thank Lead Brevard and all the members of the team for your hard work and for volunteering your time and energy. I know many times I was down the hall and you guys were there late at night working away, and certainly appreciate all your efforts on behalf of the city. And if the issues sound familiar to council, the strategic issues came directly from our strategic planning process and the issues that have been identified in our planning process. I think the one gentleman said earlier, I think there's 2 takeaways I see from it when I saw the results of the survey. One, yes, there's opportunities for improvement, but 2, yes, Coco's a small community, at 18,300, and it doesn't take many incidents to increase statistics that might reflect negatively on our community, but the image and the statistics, however, are changing for the better. And the city has a wonderful group of people such as Lead Brevard, other organizations that are working together to tell Coco's story, so the perception is catching up with the reality, and that it's, that we are working to build a brighter future here in Cocoa.
That's true. And my voice is changing, sorry, but I just want to add a couple of things while everybody's here. Obviously, when you sit here and you go to other cities and they don't say the things we're saying. I mean, we're going, about 3 years ago, we decided to go head on at what our perceived problems were and our problems. And this project here, the second project from Lead Brevard, is actually, it's very helpful because you get people that don't live here. They're coming in and they're taking on the issues that we are, facing, which is image, crime, community development. Now, one thing I want to add is Samantha here, when she would post like the results on social media, the city and Samantha would get hammered. I mean, it was amazing how many people would chime in, and I used to live there, and I really want to help it, and they would say very positive things, and you get like every 4th comment and I would add a little fuel to it, just, because we're facing it, and I think everybody knows the city is changing for the better, and it's, you can see it. And this strategic plan, I don't think we've had one in 20 years, and we take it so serious that I know I go to bed sleeping and thinking about how we can tweak it. I know John does, because he calls me every few days. But this is a very serious thing. If you look at how we lay this thing out, and the direction of the city, and what you physically can see, and the attitude change, right, Jarvis? You see a lot of changes. Jarvis lives probably for me, one of the areas that we really are working hard. Like next year, we're going to hopefully fund, and we will fund Fisk, and we'll change Fisk, and then Dixon. We're doing Peachtree's almost done, and we're reinvesting in our areas that need the most help. Larry, you know Jarvis, right? No. You two need to talk. He's on one end of Fisk than the other, and he's taken Broadmoor Acres to somewhere it's never seen since it was built.
I got happy at first. I thought you said you were going to fund me. I just got so happy.
Sorry about that. It's my voice. Want to play the tape back, right? But you guys need to talk. And I can tell you right now, everybody wants to see the city do well, even people who live north, south, east, west of the city. And I'm going to say this, I'm going to brag. Obviously, we have the best location. We have an awesome 150-year-old downtown that's unmatched anywhere. We have a regional water system. You all know, most of you have to pay your water bills. We have the college, but the actual north, south, east, west flow goes right through the heart. And right now, you'll see the next year, us kind of look at 520 hard and make a lot of changes. Then we're going to go to 528, and we're going to start poaching all the people that are going to the port and the beaches. And our goal, our ultimate goal, is to invest here, live here. And so, I can go on and on. I'll cut it short. But Sam, thank you for everything you're doing. Thank you, Lee Bavard, and keep up the great work.
Yes, thank you guys very much. We really appreciate it.
Yep, thank you.
Class of 2016.
Yeah. We are very, very passionate about driving the city in the right direction and being very smart, because we are going to get judged on this for many years, the people up here, for what we do now. So, thank you. Thanks, Sam. Okay, so we're going to go to, where we go next?
Corridor plan.
Corridor plan, okay. Steve?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. We have a presentation tonight, update on the State Road 520 corridor study. We have with us tonight Nick Lepp from Renaissance Planning Group and Judy Pizzo from FDOT. They'll be giving us an update on where we are, where they are on the study. As you know, the limits of the study from basically the base of the bridge at the waterway and to extending to US 1. And with that, I will turn it over to Judy.
Thank you, Steve.
Judy, how you doing?
Mayor Parrish, I hope you get to feeling better.
Yeah.
Council, staff, and residents, thank you. As noted, I'm Judy Pizzo. I'm the Planning Project Manager with the Florida Department of Transportation for this State Road 520 corridor study. Just to remind you, we were invited into this corridor by the Space Coast TPO at the request of the city. So it has been a very good experience working with the city and with the residents in the process. This is our presentation overview. We're going to talk on the context, the working vision and need, our community workshops, and the development of our scenarios, our alternatives for this corridor. So the key background data and area. Where we are in the planning phase, we're about halfway. We've developed our alternatives development, which we are going to talk on this evening, and moving right along on schedule with this. The project corridor, just to remind you, it is a mile long. It's from US 1 to Indian River. It's made up of 2 one-way pairs. As you know, Willard Street goes from 2 to 3 lanes, and King Street from 3 lanes. There's over 23,000 vehicles that go through this corridor every day in each direction, and the posted speed is 35 miles an hour. So it's used by pedestrians, bikes, and transit, and we've had an emphasis on the safety in this corridor, and we've had a lot of feedback from the residents in this area about how how do I get from one side of the street to the other? How do I get down the street? So our emphasis has been on that safety. I'm going to turn this over to Nick Lepke now and let him talk more on this.
Thank you. Nick Lepp from Renaissance Planning Group. Continuing on that theme of vision and future for Cocoa, 520 is part of that. And before we started this project, we developed what we were calling the working vision. You know, where does it fit in the piece regionally, but also locally, to provide that transportation accessibility for the residents getting to the village itself, and then where are the regional corridors that you still have to get in and through the area. So we started with this map, and this was kind of the framework of the foundation as we started moving forward, going out to the public and soliciting some of those, what we like to call the issues and opportunities. We worked with your group of citizens and business owners in the downtown, which made up our visioning team group, which helped us develop these issues and opportunities and identify where we should really start focusing on improving this corridor. Then we also went out to the public. We had a public workshop in December, which we mentioned to you as we came out here in November. Some of the key items that we heard from that, reducing the speed was one of their main goals of 520 within that. Improve the intersection at Forest, which there was just a major accident that occurred days before our workshop. I won't read all of them, but the same items and the same topics kept coming up through our visioning team and through our workshop. Was a common theme of safety, pedestrian access, and really making the corridor itself a destination, not just a cut through. So hearing all of this, we started developing some options. First of all, we have to look at the do nothing approach, which we said was, well, really not an option. Because this is a safety problem, we need to do something on this corridor. How do we do something, though, quickly and not just look at that long-term future? So we were looking at options for optimizing the corridor, really making those improvements that could be safer for pedestrians, bicyclists, and also automobiles. But then also look at those roadway improvements in the long term to really start addressing that long-term vision of what you really want 520 to look like to match your vision and the other projects. Here's our corridor-wide concept, which kind of takes in a lot of those concepts or plans or ideas that came from the public, where we were focusing on those one-way pairs. How do we start slowing down those speeds? Well, our options are, well, do we take away one of those lanes, start reducing that to slow down that speed? It's a posted speed of 35 miles an hour, but as everybody knows, nobody travels 35 miles through it. Actually, our data showed that it was closer to 42 or 47 miles an hour. So how do we create the environment that will start slowing down the speed, even just to go the speed limit, which would be safer? Some of those other options that could also help that would be some amenities like textured pavement around the center at the crosswalks, just to identify that you're in a location. Also some gateway features, let you know that you are in the village, and some smaller, simpler improvements, even a speed sign, which we're still working with internally at DOT to try to get something like that done, but just to let people know how fast they are coming down that bridge before they get into the village, maybe start recognizing that they are in a destination. So working through all this with the public and through the winter and crunching some numbers, we came up with, this is our short-term alternative. What we wanted to do is not come up with this big picture project that required many years of funding and planning down the road. So what can we do, quickly? And our proposal is looking at what we're calling the bulb outs, which are bringing in the intersections closer at the crosswalks. So now you only have to cross 2 lanes of traffic, which also narrows down the visual sight of the area, which will give that sense of wanting to slow down as you're going through the corridor. Not changing too many features, but just adding those street trees and the narrowing effect will help calm that traffic a little bit more and slow it down. So our proposal between Forest and Delanoy is to look at those bulb outs, or shortening that crossing of the intersections on both east and westbound. As you can see in this graphic here, with the opportunities of adding street trees. With that extra third lane, there are also those possibilities of adding additional on-street parking, designation for trucks loading and unloading. There are many options that the city can work with within that area, but the purpose is to add those bulb outs to really bring it down and to get people used to that this isn't going to be a 3-lane through corridor anymore, which would eliminate that slingshotting effect. This is now going to be a 2-lane corridor, goes from 2 lanes on the west side of US 1, and it goes to 2 lanes on the bridge, and it's going to remain 2 lanes going through. But we didn't stop there. So now we wanted to look at, all right, well, that's what we can start doing quickly, but what is the overall vision? So you have many options here, or actually 2 roadway options, but then option C is our kind of add-on third to get some two-way traffic on Riverside Drive and access. So option A would be to completely reconstruct the corridor, maximizing the pedestrian area, but still having the on-street parking, which people might get used to with the interim. Option B would be same as option A, still having 2 lanes, but we would then maximize the pedestrian area without the on-street parking. That would give us an opportunity to add even wider sidewalks, more street trees, and more pedestrian area. Both of these would require reconstruction of the corridor because you would want to center the road and still maximize those sidewalk areas for pedestrians. Now our option C, which would be on top of that, and here's our option A, which is looking at the additional street trees and the narrowing in with the yellow widening of the sidewalks. And we didn't just stop at Forest. We also looked at the opportunities to bring that all the way down to US 1. And I think one of the key features within this is taking away that dedicated right turn slip lane when you're going northbound on US 1, which was creating that safety problem right here in this location. So now we would convert that to a regular intersection where you would have a right turn lane, have to stop, visually see where the traffic is coming from before you can take the right on red, instead of where right now you can slip right through, and that's causing a lot of accidents with the speed and the weaving. So that's one of the features on this side of the corridor, but then also it gave us the opportunity to add the street trees, the added pedestrian area, and really designate that you are coming up to a right turn lane to Forest and eliminate a lot of that weaving across 3 lanes of traffic. So this is ultimately, we're going to go out to the public and start vetting some of these options and see what they say in a couple weeks. But then option C is one of the issues that were raised. How do we get two-way traffic on Riverside Drive? We tested many scenarios, looking at a full signalized intersection, looking at a couple cross one-ways. They just wouldn't work operationally, especially with the bridge. Our proposal is looking at a roundabout concept, but not really a true roundabout because it's more of an oval. It's actually just adding an additional left turn lane on the east side to complement the left turn lane that's already on the west side to get into Riverside Drive. Operationally, this seems to work, but we are still testing it design-wise to make sure that we can fit it within the area. Conceptually, this would allow for that two-way traffic, so you wouldn't have to come out at Riverside Drive, go over the bridge, and U-turn back. You would have that opportunity to get into the roundabout, especially on the weekends when the traffic's a little bit slower, you'll have those gaps, and be able to travel westbound once you came in.
That would be great, because people that go boating now have to go across the bridge.
Exactly. Or they'd have to go through the village, and that's a very tight area, especially with the
Sometimes
trip.
they can't make the swing with the boat because of the traffic, right?
So this was an issue that was raised, and we tried to come up with a solution, and this was the best we could figure out. That could work for all users and operationally. And it slows folks down and adds that gateway feature as you come in.
Yep.
Like I said, we are going to be going out to the public on the 28th, bringing some of these maps, and so they could comment, mark up, and let us know how they feel about which option we should start pursuing before we finalize that corridor report. With that,
That's way thinking out of the box.
Thank you. We told you we were going to come up with some ideas that we're going to
Good
support
idea.
what you were trying to do.
Do it.
Let the department know you like it or not. Yeah. You like the people?
I mean, I like
Oh,
it.
absolutely.
I like that idea going across from here,
Onto the pontoon.
the westbound lane.
That's right.
Without having to go across the bridge.
That was a consideration. It was,
It would hold the congestion in the village also with the boaters.
I missed the feature. There's a features, gateway feature.
It would act as a
Look at
gateway
the
feature.
roundabout.
So as you would come into the roundabout, you would
Okay, so the
recognize that you're
roundabout.
coming into an area. You're not having that straight shot coming down the bridge, seeing the 3 signals. Now you're going to see that curve in the road, and you're entering a roundabout.
I tell you,
it
it-
naturally slowed you down.
Coming down the bridge, traditionally, you come over and there's people stop, a lot of wrecks. That would slow down the surprises, you know.
Safety, safety, safety.
safety.
Right, first and foremost.
When can you
The
start?
the speed would slow down considerably. When I saw this scenario here, I thought about Vieira, Super Walmart, the roundy. My mind went to that right away. You have to be alert, attentive, slow your pace down. I mean, I would support that. That's going to be quite an adjustment, being born and reared here. I also own a pontoon boat, so, that will be an adjustment, you know, a saving factor in reference not having to go across the bridge, et cetera, just to get back in the westbound lane.
Can you start tomorrow?
Yeah.
Go out to the public first and see how they, and then we'll compile everything.
Rest assured, a lot of the public is here right now, as you can see.
A lot of familiar faces out there.
Yes.
Been to some
Yes.
of our meetings.
Okay.
Thank you, great presentation.
I would just,
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, just would like to commend FDOT, because the notion 5 years ago of FDOT taking a state road and putting it on a diet is just, wow, it's the antithesis of the philosophy and the thinking that was there before. I mean, this reminds me in a little bit, you know, while it wasn't one-way pairs, but over in Orlando, Edgewater. In terms, they took that, which was, I think it was what, 4 lanes?
Undivided,
Four lanes undivided with a
Yeah.
suicide lane, and they narrowed it down, and it just really created, it just really gelled that whole community
It's a decel.
together well.
Delray Beach, the same drag that we have here, they had, and it was the same problem. That's better, but they did this, trees and slowed it down. I mean, that's,
Still have the people coming through, it just
Yeah.
slowed things down. and
Oh,
made it safer.
absolutely.
I mean, we get a lot of complaints from people trying to walk through. You know, that would give it a
We've
shot,
heard 'em.
so, yeah. Great, that's great. So,
Superb presentation.
Thank you.
Can I ask you an unrelated question, Judy? And I know you're doing parallel studies at this time, and it just, because the question was asked, I know the member's not here, but do we know where we are on the Fisk corridor
Fisk?
one?
We just had our public presentation on Fisk, and we are now, that was a planning-only study, and I am pushing management to get into concept development, I hope soon.
Thank you, I just don't want to be
We'll
able to.
keep you apprised.
Thank you so much, Judy.
You're very
Appreciate
welcome.
it.
Thank you.
yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Judy and Nick.
Yep, thank you. All right. Sam's back.
Arnold.
Hi again. Thank you very much, Mayor and Council. I just wanted to give you a quick update. John and myself and Patsy Porter from HR had the privilege of attending the United Way Awards dinner this past Thursday, where the city of Cocoa received an award. And I asked Suzanne, who happens to be in our Lead Brevard group, to stay and help us, because she is our United Way representative. But we received this beautiful plaque that is going out front in the case, and it is a Campaign Achievement Award that was awarded to us in special recognition of our outstanding 2015 employee campaign. We increased our give to the United Way by 90% over the year before. Which I'll let Suzanne just talk a little bit about what that does for the United Way and how they can leverage those funds. But we gave, in 2014, it was about $8,400, and this past year, we gave $15,400, and that's strictly employee giving from our City of Cocoa employees.
Solidarity there.
Very good.
Suzanne?
Thank you. Again, just like to say thank you to the city manager and the dynamic duo of Samantha and Patsy. They ran an outstanding campaign this year, like she said, almost doubling their campaign total. Those monies stay right here to support individuals here in our community. We like to say the money raised here stays here. And the need, as you all know, is so great here in Brevard, and specifically here in Cocoa. That money goes to the summer feed and read programs. They help with individuals to go out and mentor to individuals here at the schools right here in Cocoa. I know that Samantha mentors herself at Emma Jewell Charter School, which is one of our flagship schools that we partnership with to help individuals. The city of Cocoa has several of our partner agencies. We partnership with over 40 agencies throughout Brevard, helping individuals that need help. You know, I like to say life happens to all of us, and we just never know when something happens and we need some help. And through your generosity, we are able to support our partner agencies in support of individuals here in our community. So again, on behalf of our President, Rob Raines, and the individuals at our United Way, thank you. Thank you so much for your support.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So that many employees actively involved and participated in this event through donations? and
Yes,
stuff?
through payroll donations, we
Thank
did
you,
special
employees.
events, and thank you to all the directors here because
Yeah.
they're a huge part.
Speaks volumes.
They spread the word to their employees, and it helps a lot, so.
Great job.
Yeah, great job. Thanks, John.
Samantha and Patty, they did a great job.
Yeah, all the employees.
All the employees.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna move on to delegations. Paul Camus. There he is. Yeah, we're doing 3 minutes.
3 minutes?
Yes.
Okay. Paul Camus, 116 Olive Street, Cocoa. I saw on the flyer. Luncheon coming up. So if anyone's wants to be on the city board, just remember, once a year, we get a nice luncheon over at the Civic Center for recognition. Last time I was in front of you all, I explained to you the need for booster reels on our 2 new pumpers, and I'm passionate about this, and I won't let it rest until it happens. So anyway, I just want to bring to your attention at the Playhouse. I recall doing walkthroughs when I was working at the fire department, 25 years, retired. If you go to the north part of the stage, there is a booster reel. Go check it out sometime. In front of you is a photo of a couple of children with a booster line. The reason I provided you with that photo is, number one, the pumper that it came off of was delivered to the city as an emergency replacement for one that went down. It did not come with the booster line. The fire chief, chief plumber, heard the firefighters say, we need a booster line. So he got one put on, and it's a 3/4-inch line, which is ideal. If you're watching the news, you're seeing the weather, what's going on, you're seeing the fires that's going on. It's vital that those booster reels get on those pumpers for our firefighters. I am in front of you again to find out if the monies that are needed, $15,000, has been found. I told you all last time where $5,000 was at from Sam's Club, plus the money that the city saved when I retired. Also, I've got my tax from my property tax. I spent 39 cents more than I should have. So I did some math, and if there's 38,462 properties that pay taxes in the city, there's $15,000 right there. I'm not looking for a 39-cent check from the city. I will be more than happy to have that money earmarked. And it is possible because, if you recall, lightning struck the steeple at Mount Moriah,
And me.
and I was at the tip of that ladder with a circular saw, doing my best to access that and couldn't do it. Ended up, we had to bring the elevator platform from Cocoa Beach to get the job done. We spec'd a replacement, wasn't an elevator platform, but one became available because another place couldn't follow through on getting that one that we got now. And all I know is it was a 3 and a bunch of zeros the city had to pay in addition to get what we got now. So let's try and get this going. Oh, one other thing, trash bash. Are we going to do the challenge? Booster line versus crosslay. So I'm going to be there. I hope the pumper will be there. I'll be more than happy to guide council, and hopefully staff be there for the crosslay.
Gosh, I don't know.
All right, thank you. Thank you for your time.
Well, thank you. Yes.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, sir.
I would just like to comment to clarify.
Sure.
If council will recall, in January, they adopted a resolution related to the fire assessment when the assessment roll was recalculated, and certain boat slips actually have a residential identifier, and obviously a boat slip's not meant to have the fire assessment on it. When they were taken out, it resulted in an overcalculation of 39 cents per each residential unit, and you adopted a resolution, and it was legally advertised that any member of the public that wanted the city to issue a 39-cent check, we would. However, what we would do in the alternative, if you didn't want that check now, we will credit next year's bill for that 39 cents. So the city's not banking 39 cents and keeping it. Actually, it was 37 cents. The 2 cents extra is the interest that actually would be earned, so all the citizens are made whole and nobody's out the money.
Wow, John. Money man.
Good job, John.
Yeah, good job. Okay, Paul, thank you. Joanne Corby?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Joanne Corby, 2462 Chaparral Drive in Melbourne. I'm here this evening as a follow-up of my inquiry in December when I came before you and I asked for help for my husband's pension. So I'd like to know if any decision has been made by the council. I know you asked me when I left to give you some time. I think 4 months is enough time.
Was there any movement on the pension board?
No, there was none. I mean, actually, we did the city attorney pulled all the legal records related to the briefs and all the decisions related to the circuit court rulings and the appellate court ruling. And it's unfortunately, the city's not a party to this issue. It's an issue between the Ms. Corby and the pension board, and the city doesn't have any standing in the issue, and the circuit court, in part ruled in her favor, and then the other part did not. So it's we've talked to the pension board and made them aware that it was a concern. But they are following through with what they believe to be is their fiduciary responsibility in managing the pension funds.
Was the pension board asked why the death provision that this council approved in 2000, was the pension board asked why that death provision wasn't implemented immediately upon my husband's death?
I'm just going to advise council, I don't believe this is the proper forum to, it's a very complex issue, and the court, heard Mrs. Corby's argument and made a ruling related to her reliance upon that provision, and the pension board has a responsibility. I'm not defending or speaking against the pension board, but at the end of the day, they have a fiduciary responsibility to manage the pension in the interest of all the pensioners. With that being said, the matter was litigated before the courts, and there was a determination made. It was appealed. The determination was upheld, and so it would be. And I guess the pension board could speak to it on their own, but it would be probably, if you were a pensioner, it would be very difficult for them to violate their fiduciary responsibility because they have a legal document that says this is what this pension, survivor is due by the court, and then we're going to go against that.
The fiduciary responsibility is to honor the plan in the plain language that the plan is written in. And your death provision is pretty clear. Not only is your death provision clear, we also have the actuary report that was submitted into the state and approved to the state that has my husband's name on it. He met eligibility to retire, and the death provision was not honored. Instead, I was sent on a literally, I can't even think of a word that can describe what I've been put through. And what the courts approved, what they determined, was 3% for 10 years. That's what was mandated. But that mandate, and please correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Garcia, Gardenese, I apologize. The mandate does not prevent the city from honoring the death provision, the remainder part of the death provision.
It's not the city's.
This
It's the pen-
is the city's plan. It is a plan that was established by the city for the benefit of the firefighters and also for the beneficiaries. And it is there and it is in place to not only be properly funded by 4 different revenue streams, and one of those streams does not include that we all of a sudden have an increase of cash flow because we've lost a member. Michael met the requirements of the plan prior to his death. It does not require that when you meet the requirements of the plan that you must leave. There is no plan, because if that were the case, we would have no employee, fire, police, or general employee, that would remain past meeting the requirements of the pensions. And I'm doing the best I can to try to not just include this issue that is at hand, but for the betterment of all. I don't want anybody to have to go through what I've been through and what our family has been put through after losing Michael. It has been absolutely hell. And it is wrong. It should not be allowed. This council should put their foot down. You have the power and the authority to remove every single one of those pension board members. That's what your authority is. And I'm not too sure if you all were given information that gave you the authority to follow through with what you all approved in 2000, if you would do the right thing. I'm not asking you to be concerned with being right. I'm asking you to do right.
Mr. Mayor, can I make a suggestion?
Yeah, sure.
May I say something? My thing is, it's not fair to Mrs. Corbett have to come in front of us every other month or whatever the case may be concerning this pension issue. I just would like to say the city manager, city attorney, Mrs. Corby, and the pension board, the 4 of them or whatever, the group of them need to sit down and work this out to address her concerns, immediate concerns. I know there was court litigation to make sure that everyone understands it and clear, defined, in all thy ways get understanding, when getting wisdom, get understanding, that they figure this out so that this issue can be resolved in a humble and peaceful way. That's what I'm saying to you. And I see no reason why they cannot work through this matter through collaboration, cooperation.
Legally, can you do that?
I don't, at this stage, let's just recap just very briefly what happened. And, I think the city has gone, the manager and myself went kind of above and beyond in some respects. I have a lot of sympathy for the Corby family and what they're going through, no doubt about it. But we went back and pulled all of the court records regarding this particular case to review it, and it's very clear. I mean, part of what she's telling the council is true, that they are entitled to some benefits under the pension plan, but the pension board has the authority to interpret the local plan that was adopted by the council. The pension board interpreted the local plan, and Mrs. Corby appealed their decision to the circuit court. Circuit court rendered a binding written order, finding in her favor in some respects, but finding against her argument and position on one crucial point that she's trying to raise before the council, and that is the duration of the benefit. In the duration of the benefit, as determined by the pension board and affirmed by not only the circuit court, but the 5th District Court of Appeal on appeal, is that the duration is only for 10 years. It's not for the lifetime of the beneficiaries of the former deputy chief. And that issue's been, decided, and she's been afforded all the legal rights to challenge that decision, and the court's determination and the pension board's determination is the duration is 10 years. And that's it,
The duration is 10 years for 3%.
for 3%.
For 3%. Let's be clear. Your
Well,
death provision, your ordinance is a lifetime benefit. Your 10 years was removed. I can say that when you all passed this provision, when you passed the ordinance, that was presented to you by the pension board in 2000. You actually did something that was leaps and bounds ahead of all other cities. You actually improved your death provision. You actually made it better. There were 3 issues at hand that evening with that ordinance, one of them being the death provision. And yes, you reduced the multiplier from 3% to 2%, and you did so by removing the 10-year cap. You can't say that when somebody is eligible and has met all the requirements of the plan, that they lose out. Let me just kind of put this, if you wouldn't mind, Mayor, 30 more seconds, 1 more minute. In easy math, if you were to convert the percentages into dollars, saying $1,000 represents 1%, if you calculated out $3,000 by 10 years, that's 120 payments, you're going to come up with $360,000. If you calculate $2,000 by a lifetime, I was 50 when Michael died. Okay, lifetime expectancy for a female is 80, 85. So that's 420 payments. If you calculate $2,000 times the 420 payments, it's nearly 860-something thousand. There's over a $500,000 difference there, assuming I live beyond, up to those years. And quite honestly, y'all are killing me. No different than you've done my husband. And I don't mean that as a threat, and I apologize if it seems that way. But Michael was here day in and day out. His career was all about rescue. Prior to Cocoa, he was a lifeguard. And right after that, he was a radar and rescue swimmer for the United States Coast Guard. He's a veteran. Then Cocoa was lucky enough to hire him. He spent nearly 22 years in Cocoa, here at every hurricane, for every wildfire. Michael was here, and he did his job above and beyond, and never got recognition. On top of that, when he passed of a massive heart attack, look how we've been treated. And yes, now I'm including you, because you all have the authority and the ability to do something. And I've been asking for your help. I've waited the past 4 months from coming here in December. I've given you as much time as I, thought you needed. But I am asking for you to not let this go.
The council can't direct the pension board to violate the ordinance and to provide a benefit that is not allowed under the pension code as affirmed by the court of law. The council's not in a position to do that. I mean, those pension funds are managed by the pension board.
The city creates the pension, but it's, as the city attorney is saying, it's administered and managed.
Firefighters, it's funded by the city through its contributions, and it's managed by, appointed board members from the council and from the firefighters. And, the arguments that have been made are all detailed in the appellate briefs that I have forwarded to the manager's office and the council. You're free to review all of the arguments that were made, and the decision was affirmed by the court. I mean, short of,
I'm not asking you to change anything that you all approved. I'm asking you to follow it. In recent news, Miss Pine, who was the widow of Officer Pine, was successful in getting the state legislature to pass a law. Her husband, after serving after 3 years, was shot and killed in the line of duty. And I just can't even tell you the amount of empathy I have for them and their family, and I understand her pain. And after 2 years, they were successful in getting a law passed and changed to allow benefit for life. I'm not asking you to change anything. I'm asking you to honor it.
Well, Mr. City Manager, is there any anything else you want to add?
Again, it's the city, the pension, and the firefighters fund the pension. The city creates the pension by statutory requirement, or it's created consistent with the Chapter 175, 185. It's created, we fund it, the individual firefighters fund it, and the independent pension board manages and administers it. This council only appoints 2 members. So even if you were to want to replace, you only get to replace 2 members because the union replaces or has 2 members, and then those 2 members, the collective bargaining agreement union unit, and then the city's 2 members, they decide who the 5th member is. So you have the ability to replace 2 members if you felt that was appropriate, I mean, with regards to this issue, but you don't have any standing into, I do empathize and sympathize as well. I just.
Ms. Corby, thank you for coming, and, I mean, I don't feel good about it, but
At least ask them why they didn't honor the death provision that you all approved. I would at least appreciate you doing that and getting an answer and then getting back to me instead of leaving me hanging.
Take care of their own.
I can do that. Thank you. Appreciate it. Melissa Martin? Good evening.
So depressed right now. I'm sorry. Okay.
Shake it off, man.
All right.
Yeah.
Anyway, good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Melissa Martin, 5404 Brilliant Circle. Okay, I just wanted to invite you, council and staff, if you're interested, this Friday, in a few days, we're having an event. Represent Us, the local chapter, is going to be officially kicking off our clean government grassroots movement. And I understand that the anti-corruption resolution that was directed to staff back in January is still under works. But you are still welcome to come and declare your own statements in your personal or private capacities. Again, we chose, this is a countywide, region-wide type of a movement, and it's already gaining lots of traction. Dave Berman's going to be covering it in Florida today. And it's only here because of the fact that this would be the first city in the county to declare its support for cleaning up government in general, because I don't think there is any controversy on this issue. It's pretty clear that the system itself needs to be fixed. So just to remind you what this is all about, it's a local movement for clean government. Why? Because we need our government to function as a democratic republic again for us and not for the lobbyists or the high-dollar campaign donors. It's point blank. It's pretty simple concept. So how are we going to do this? We're going to organize the frustration and the emotion and the energy that's already out there. We're going to coordinate efforts and let people know what to do about it instead of complaining and blaming and festering. And what it looks like is citizens getting energized and going to their respective city councils, asking for resolutions, ordinances, tightening up conflict of interest issues, whatever necessary. And ideally, it will be through the government, but there's also the option of going through the ballot initiative route for other city councils that are not as conducive. Right, exactly. Not as perfect as Cocoa.
Yeah, we wouldn't be here. Go ahead.
That's right.
Yeah.
So one thing to note is that it's a fiercely nonpartisan movement. Breitbart, the conservative site, is very vocal about energizing its followers to also join in on the movement. So this is hands down progressive, conservative, libertarian, Tea Party, you name it. We're all in the same boat. It's extremely all-American. It's a matter of not activism. It's a matter of being aware of what's going on and doing something about it as responsible citizens.
Friday?
Friday, 6
Where?
p.m. right here in front of the City Hall.
Whoa.
Right.
Friday.
You know why?
This is your home base, Melissa.
I know. It's convenient for me, that's why. But it is tax day, and therefore it's going to be called Representation Day. Any questions?
What time?
6 p.m.
6 p.m.
City Hall.
All right.
Come one, come on.
Come on. Look forward to you being there. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. All right. Very good.
Good job.
Virgie Prude?
Mr. Mayor and everybody,
Virgie?
God bless you all.
Bless you.
First I want to ask, could we get some bumps in the road down far?
What?
Speed bumps.
Speed bumps.
There's a process.
Table, what is it called? What's the correct pronunciation, John? Correct term?
Actually, there's a process by which the Public Works will evaluate, the conditions of the roadway, the traffic, working in coordination with the police
I
department.
thought we had a speed counter there.
Well, they put that out, ensure that it's necessitated. It's important to note that anytime a speed table or a speed hump go up, it decreases response time from a public safety perspective, because those vehicles have to slow down to navigate over that bump. And when you're driving a $1.2 million, ladder truck, it ain't easy just to go over those speed bumps. So that's why there is a process. I mean, we can get with you and kind of go over the details of the process to initiate the warrant study, and then it would bring those results back to council and whether or not it's warranted.
Thank you. And most of all, I want to thank the mayor and the city of Cocoa for fixing Jackson Street. You've done a wonderful job. Proud of you. And you're fixing Peachtree Street. That is coming along beautiful. I have two more questions to ask. Our neighborhood allowed to have chicken in my neighborhood? Chicken, goat, and ducks?
Me.
No.
Who is responsible for that?
Me.
If you have somebody you can speak with, you can report.
Yeah, well,
code
whoever
enforcement.
responsible need to ride down Vine Homes and check out the neighborhood. Because I got goats and ducks and chicken in my neighborhood, and I said, well, I was thinking about getting me some chicken, putting it in my neighborhood.
You don't have to buy eggs.
Ms. Prude, you're right, ma'am. About a week and a half ago, 3 ducks were in my backyard.
Oh, you got them too?
Yes, ma'am. 3 ducks. Eat my cat food, ma'am. You're absolutely right.
And then another thing, who would I have to see to talk to about if I want to put? I had a wire fence around my house.
Steve.
I want to put up.
Same person about code enforcement.
Guy right there.
Guy right there.
Mayor, make sure
I'll give you his card, and he can talk to you about the
I just
chickens,
want to.
the
I just want to
goats,
say
and the
one thing.
fence.
If I take the wire fence down, I'm saying this because this happened to my neighbor. She had a wire fence up. She take the wire fence down and put the wooden fence up. And they come out and told her she have to take it down or pay for it. She already had a fence up. I already had a wire fence up. They cross my fence and knock it down or bend it down, so I want to put a wooden fence up. Do I have to pay for that to
You have
put
to
the
get a
wooden
permit,
fence
but
up?
see, that gentleman give you a
So I'll be paying twice, huh?
I'll give you my card.
Oh, okay. Well, God bless y'all and thank y'all.
If you do it on the weekend, he'll go help you put it up.
Mr. Mayor,
Give me your cell phone, too.
I'm sorry.
I just want to advise you, the 30 minutes for delegations is up, so in order to extend
Make a
it,
motion to
you're going to have
extend
to.
it 15 minutes. How many cards you have, Mr. Mayor?
It's be unanimous.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, it has to be all three.
I make a motion that we extend it for 15 minutes.
7 times 3 is 21. You gotta go a little further than that, sir.
Let's go,
30 minutes.
let's go 30.
Yeah, just keep it
21 minutes.
concise and to the point.
Yeah, we'll go.
Make a motion that we
Second it.
extend the 21 minutes.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Here we go. Bernice Cox?
Sorry, y'all. We're gonna get to you, Dave. We'll get to you. Larry.
Good
evening,
Mrs. Cox.
Mayor, council, staff. I have a letter of appreciation I'd like to read to the city. Chief Cantaloupe, Sergeant Levain, and all of the officers and staff that were part of my Aunt Mattie Mae Cicero's homegoing celebration on March 12, 2016. A citizen of Cocoa for 81 years of her 110 years of life on this earth. We can't express the gratitude the Cicero families feel for the police escort provided by Cocoa Police Department. I have never witnessed or seen such a professional escort, neither had anyone that attended the celebration. Family members and friends were complimenting your staff and the city of Cocoa for a breathtaking escort. Such an awesome lady that we all love. I know she's looking down on us, smiling from heaven. The police escort started from 556 Johnson Street to Zion Orthodox Primitive Baptist Church, then to her final resting place, Florida Memorial Garden. The funeral procession arrived at US 1, heading south to Florida Memorial Garden. Cocoa Police Department performed an escort service that was just awesome. The funeral procession was moved over to the passing lane on US 1, and to my surprise, no one was southbound on US 1 but the funeral procession all the way to Florida Memorial Garden. The right lane was completely closed off to the public. What a heartfelt feeling we had. The Cocoa Police Department really did show love. They escorted my aunt all the way with a Cocoa police officer waiting at the entrance of Florida Memorial Garden to welcome the funeral procession. Again, I say thanks. This family can never express the gratitude we feel and appreciate all your services. We will never forget, and we will always cherish the love you have shown for the lady that God placed on this earth for 110 years to live in our city for 81 years. May God bless you all in a special way and keep you all safe in his care as you serve and protect the citizens of Cocoa. And I have one more thank you, a special thank you for the code enforcement team, the public work team, for your continued support in Pine Grove Park 2 on the south side of 520, where crime continues to get better to the residents. We will not tolerate crime. Our goal still remains lighting a way to a crime-free neighborhood. We see the lights shining bright. Thanks again, Team Cocoa. Criminals still try to run to the south side across 520, trying to elude Cocoa PD. Again, criminals don't like lights. They can't hide in Pine Grove Park 2. Thank you.
Very good.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, Bernice. Ruth Collins? I'll be right back. Ruth, how you doing?
Take your time, bro.
I'm sorry, I heard another Ruth first. But nevertheless, I'm Ruth Collins. I guess by now you know I'm a native Cocoa for more than 80 years, and I've resided at 742 Bernard Street, Cocoa, Florida for 58 years. I'm here as a follow-up to I had been here some 6 months ago, and I think in December when the other lady spoke about the insurance. I'm here because of the Martin Luther King sign. I have asked if possible to put some shrubbery or some greenery there, and I see you have a lot you're putting down on Peachtree Street, and I appreciate if you could put something under the 3 signs. Also, I was here again for the light corner on Blake Avenue and Rosalie Jones and Fisk Boulevard and Barbara Jenkins. I see they have not anything has been done to that to try and have a light there, or either paint aluminum lights and lighting paint on the curbstone. I'm here for another new reason. In our neighborhood, I don't know whether you all are getting ready to resurface the streets or not, but all of the streets, Blake Avenue, Stone Street, Rosalie Jones, Washington Avenue, Bernard Street, and Barbara Jenkins have no middle lines painted in them. And I appreciate it if we could get something done in that behalf. I won't take any more of your time, but I appreciate the council and you all seeing that some of that could be accomplished. I thank you so very much.
Thank you. John?
Just want to advise you, Ms. Collins, we actually asked the FDOT consultant, they're doing a planning study on Fisk Boulevard, and I don't think taxpayers like to make improvements only to have the state come back in and/or the city redo it within a year or so. So it's in a planning phase right now, and as she indicated that they're trying to get into the design phase for Fisk going from Roselle Jones up. So after that study's done is when the improvements would be made.
Okay, another question. May I ask, who would I have to talk to write to Tallahassee to get some information on because that is the truck route, Fisk Boulevard? And I had some other issues I wanted to write to them concerning.
Go back to Deland.
Well, I was going to say, the district secretary and FDOT and up in
Okay.
Deland.
District Secretary.
When, we could get you that information,
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Larry Sinclair, Lawrence?
All right, let's make this quick. Okay, this is a speed read. Lawrence Sinclair, 1052 Mitchell Street, Cocoa, Florida. Everybody in front of you, you have a raffle notice for Broadmoor Acres to pay the rental cost at the Civic Center for the art and collectible sale May 14th and 15th. We accept cash, check, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, and Discover. So we're very capable of giving you your raffle tickets tonight. 1061 Belafonte will close on Monday. It's another one off the demo list. Hopefully we'll have a family in it within 3 weeks after that. I hear a lot of people talking about streets, and I really don't want to sound like this, but when you start looking to do improvements, think about Broadmoor Acres, because we have no curbs, we have no sidewalks. We had a guy that literally drove his Lexus into the city sewer storm drain in the middle of Mitchell yesterday and ripped his axle off and still kept going. So, you guys know what we're trying to do in Broadmoor Acres, and you know I've tried to research these properties. I want to tell you a quick story. I got a hold of a property owner, 513 North Carolina, today that the city's had extreme difficult times making contact with. I tried to work something to get the property at least cleaned up. It's under a lot of codes. It's under an unsafe building notice. I was floored with the excuse the guy gave me for not maintaining the property. He says that because the property is constantly being broken into, they have hired an attorney to do a unauthorized occupant eviction. They are taking the position that the property constantly being broken into is actually squatters. So they have no interest in the city's notices as far as the property, and he pretty much made that clear. He also said they're looking to sell the property to somebody that they can convince to lease to own. And I asked him, how could you lease a property that's uninhabitable, that has liens up the yin-yang, and that the person leasing it could not even pull a permit to fix because they're not the owner? And he said that's what they do. I don't know what it takes for the city to actually enforce some of these things with some of these property owners, but that is a property owner we don't need in the city of Cocoa, regardless of where it's at. And on that note, remember, raffle tickets, remember, Broadmoor Acres Restoration and Preservation.
Awesome. Nice.
Thanks, Larry.
Yes, Larry.
Thank you.
Thank you. Vicki Shepherd? Two birds with one stone?
Hi, my name, what do I do here?
Right.
Try
Hi.
to kill two birds with one stone. You can ignore my card. Vicky's the first time here. She's a little nervous.
A tiny
So she
bit.
wants me to be here to help support her about the same subject.
The same subject. Hi, you guys. Okay,
How you
I want to say thank you, council, for very much for listening to me. Okay, I think I'm going to let Alex take over, because my concern is, to put it briefly, is the trees, the oaks in Cocoa Village. I don't know if I just heard about it recently, and I'm concerned about that.
Alex Greenwood, 640 Brevard Avenue. Greetings, Mayor, Council. I'll be very quick. This is something that I've already presented before the RDA Board. This is all something that has started that I've basically let it go. There was an oak tree that was probably planted in the 1800s in front of Murdoch's, that nothing was wrong with it. It was basically eliminated. It was told to me that it was hit by lightning and that it was rotten and it needed to be removed. I was never contacted as a property owner. They followed through by the tenants that are there, which is, of course, not the proper procedure to take. I let it go. I thought, this has been about 4 years ago, that it was just a fluke, something that won't repeat itself. Unfortunately, I found out that there's a lot of oak trees from the 1800s that have been removed. And I asked people, how did that happen? And they just didn't know. They throw their arms up. And these are other property owners that this had happened in the village. Now, when I was on the council, we had a major issue of 70 oak trees. And it was unanimous to create a tree board. It's been quite some time. I really feel that that needs to be readdressed. I'm making myself available to the Planning and Zoning Board because I found out that the tree board was under their jurisdiction. But while I was looking into this to see what happened to the tree board, I found out that they're calling a small project, which in my opinion is a big one, where the old City Hall site is. There are oak trees there, a total of 8 of them, 3 stories tall, and it's scheduled for them to be removed. There's nothing wrong with them. You can't put your arms around the trunks. And the only information that I was given was several reasons, like the infrastructure. I don't see of anything there that is causing a problem. With more infrastructure, that is. And that includes the other trees that were removed. Further looking into it, this should not be a decision based on one person. And this is exactly what's happening. One person is making a decision to remove trees. And it isn't just once or twice. It's been over a course of time now that I have found out that it adds up to quite a few, which includes the 6 or 8 trees, oak trees that are there. The main thing I want to know is if the council, I would assume, does it need to be revoted? But it's there. I'm going to look into it. I really feel it shouldn't be ignored. This is not just for Cocoa Village. This is for cocoa. And there are trees that are being removed unnecessarily. There's no rotting or anything involved. And it's all based on one person's decision. That's not what the tree board was created for when I was on the council, which I think in the 90s was when Judy was there as well.
Yep.
And it was a unanimous decision to have the tree board created to prevent
We
the
have a
almost
problem.
70 trees that the city was saying needed to be removed. And to give you a little background, I'd asked to hire an outside tree arborist, and it was then discovered that none of these oak trees needed to be removed except for one. And that's what the concern was. I have groups from the Historic Cocoa Village Association that I've just informed them about this, the Cocoa Beach Area Chamber of Commerce. I've already got a dozen letters showing support about this concern. And basically,
Hey, Alex,
That's
I mean, I
where
know
we're
what you're
at.
saying, and that was a serious run in the 90s.
Is this going to be made a decision right away? Because I've had more, but I don't want to take up your time.
Yeah, we're,
Well, her family history is from the 1800s.
Oh, yeah.
These are trees we're talking about before your fathers were born.
yep.
Right.
I mean,
There's,
her grandfather,
there's,
the shepherds.
trees, and I have history of why some of these trees. I hate to see any of it. You know, Winter Park over there. Why are we going to destroy our village by removing these oak trees?
Right.
And unless I hear another reason
Now,
for
there
it.
oak trees we've got in front of Lowe's, Home Depot, the mall, but we don't want it in the city of Cocoa? No, 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 no.
I'm for oak trees. You know that.
Yeah,
Well,
thank you.
I know that too, but in front of the
I just-
RDA board, a suggestion was made to cut them down and use them as wood for the new barbecue restaurants coming up. So, you know, I
It's
need
awful.
to see if there's a support.
Okay.
I'm going to look into the basically how, if I can get involved,
Can you
to
really tell-
readdress it
Yeah.
and go
Can
from
you
there.
really tell me you're going to take the oak trees off the barn and all those beautiful lights in the village Christmas time?
Yeah, no, I agree.
I need a little direction.
Okay, thank
Mr.
you.
Blaine, how
Sorry,
you feel about it?
I get emotional about
My
it.
thing, if there is some type of illness to the tree, if it has
Oh,
a
true,
fungal
I can
matter.
understand that.
Yes, sir, I support in removing the tree. But my concern is, what the intent is to make sure if it's if it's cracking the pavement, I mean, if they can justify it, what I mean by justifying it, sir. I mean, I support, hear me out.
I'm sorry.
I support the oak tree. I don't have a problem with an oak tree. I think I'd just rather be proactive in reference of if they can maintain its growth without interfering with the infrastructure, then I support it. As long as it doesn't have a problem or hamper the infrastructure of our facilities, I don't have a problem with it.
I agree with you there. I'd like to see how Winter Park and those people deal with these sort of problems.
My oak tree that was removed was none of those issues.
Okay.
And it was in the 1800s when it was there.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
any of those issues.
Judy and I, we invited the mayor of Charleston in the late 90s, back when they wanted to take out 70 oak trees down here.
Yes.
And we walked him around the corner because we were going to Porsche House and for reception. I said, "Sir," I said, he goes, "This the trees you're talking about?" I said, "Yeah, all the trees." And he goes, "In Charleston?" He says, "We'd never let that happen." He goes, "They look good to me."
We're on the path
Nothing ever happened.
of having none
Yeah.
with the way it's being handled now. It's handled by one person. And I was told that that project's considered too small, which why it wasn't addressed. And we're talking about 6 to
John.
8 trees.
In your years,
Thank you very much.
in
You're
your
welcome,
years
Mr.
back,
Shepard.
you remember
Thank
the
you.
tree- the tree board? You
Yes.
remember it?
What,
Your first years?
the tree board is now a function of the P and Z, and all the requirements to go before the tree board still exist.
Okay,
The P and Z board is the tree board.
okay.
Well, then there's something that it needs to look at, for example, this project, where the old City Hall site, why that wasn't important enough to consider the removal of the oak trees.
Right.
Okay? They're showing palm trees
You're
there.
gonna have to
Yeah.
extend your time down over
Okay.
there.
Thank you again. I appreciate
But I'll
it.
keep
Okay.
you posted,
Okay.
and then
Yep.
I might be back to either RDA board or whatever.
Okay, thank
Well,
you.
You get 4
goodbye.
minutes.
You're gonna have to extend your time.
We're already back at 30?
Just
You got
about.
3 minutes.
3 minutes. Okay, Brad Whitmore?
Is it related to the ordinance?
Make you left.
Ambassador, you coming up? He called your name.
He's speaking under the under the ordinance agenda item.
Oh, yes, I am.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Alan Chapman?
Same, I believe.
Yeah,
I'm
3
sorry, Al.
minutes.
I'm
It's
sorry.
under the ordinance?
Alan, you're here for the delegation, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
And I'll be very brief.
Okay,
Okay, that's brief enough.
yeah, that'll be it.
Take your time.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of council, staff. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. Alan Chapman, Historic Cocoa Village Association, 600 Florida Avenue, Suite 104, right across the street. I just want to take this opportunity to let you know that we have a car show coming up in the village this weekend on Saturday, and I'm here tonight to extend an invitation to Mayor Henry Parrish to join us at the car show and select the mayor's choice, as is his responsibility now.
Yep. I like it. I love it.
Very good. That's it. Thank you very much. Please come out and enjoy what we hope will be a great show on Saturday afternoon. Thank you so
How
much.
many cars? How many cars?
Oh, I'm sorry, time, 2 to 5 p.m.
How many cars were there?
Between 100 and 140.
Yeah, good.
We've had some assistance from the Antique Automobile Club of Cape Canaveral in the organization, and they're providing us with some volunteers so we can expand and streamline the process, as it were.
Great.
Thank you very much for taking your time. Thank you.
Alan, great
Thank
job.
you.
Thank you. Okay. So we're going to move on to
So move.
Second.
Consent agenda.
Yeah, consent agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? No? Okay. Here we go.
All right, first public hearing is a second and final reading of ordinance 05-2016, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Cocoa, Brevard County, Florida, adopting the second addendum to the solid waste franchise agreement between the City of Cocoa and Waste Management, Inc. of Florida, amending the City Code, Chapter 9, Health and Sanitation, Article 2, Solid Waste, Division 1, Solid Waste Franchise, to incorporate certain provisions of the second addendum into the City Code, providing for the repeal of prior inconsistent ordinances and resolutions, incorporation into the code severability, and an effective date. There haven't been any changes to these legal instruments since first reading. This is a public hearing item, Mayor.
Okay, I'm going to close this to council, bring this up to the audience. Anybody like to speak on this ordinance? Number 2. Second reading. Okay, I'm going to close it to the audience.
So moved,
Bring it back
sir.
to-
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Number 2.
Okay, this is the second public hearing item is second and final reading of ordinance number 01-2016, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Cocoa, Florida, regulating certain activities at Riverfront Park, including the area of submerged lands dedicated to the City of Cocoa by the State of Florida for municipal park and recreational purposes, amending Section 14-11 of the City Code relating to mooring and docking of vessels at Riverfront Park, providing for repeal of prior inconsistent ordinances and resolutions, incorporation into the code severability, and a retroactive effective date. This is second and final reading of this ordinance. At first reading, the council received some significant public input, as both verbally and in writing. The council passed the ordinance on first reading with the understanding that staff and myself would get together with certain members of the public to discuss the input that they had. Over the last couple of months, we have done just that, have been very engaged with several citizens of Cocoa that have a very strong interest in this ordinance, including Brad Whitmore, who's been extremely helpful in providing some detailed comments regarding this ordinance. So what we've done, there are some significant changes to this ordinance between first and second reading, but those changes are all consistent with the original intent and purpose of this ordinance, which was to regulate certain boating activities and other activities that occur at Riverfront Park, consistent with the city charter provision requiring the city council to have adopted regulations in furtherance of protecting the scenic beauty and amenities at the Riverfront Park. So I know there were some changes. I'd be happy to answer any specific questions. I don't know if Steve wanted to add a few comments before you open it up to public input. But I think this work product, thanks to a lot of help from the citizens, I think is improved and more refined than it was at first reading. Mayor.
Okay, good. Steve, you want to add something?
Yeah, just a couple of comments, Mayor. I also want to reiterate and thank Alan Chapman and Brad Whitmore for their contribution to this ordinance. We met with them on several occasions and had discussions with them, and they really provided, as Anthony said, a great deal of input, insight, and contribution to the final document we have before us. So this is miles ahead of what we had previously. Basically, what we had, the original ordinance was basically prohibited overnight mooring. And that was pretty much it, from 12 to 5 a.m. So this significantly improves upon that, and To kind of simplify things, if you, in your agenda packet, we included an aerial which kind of shows kind of the intent of all of this language we've provided, and to simplify kind of what you can do where, what kind of docking can go where. We've kind of designated certain areas for certain types of docking. For example, the T-dock is going to be geared towards allowing longer-term boating for some of our ICW cruisers that are coming through, to kind of attract them as they're coming down the coast, give them an opportunity to come here and dock at the T-dock for up to 48 hours, so they can stay overnight. We're going to be designating some areas for day boaters in the docks as well, where they can come in, stay for up to 8 hours, spend time in the village, shop, go eat, so forth. And another component of this that we thought was very important was providing some designated areas for the dinghy boats. We have a lot of those in the village. They take up a lot of space at the dock area, and it really kind of creates problems for other boaters wanting to come to Cocoa Village and visit when those spaces are occupied with the dinghy boats. They can be there all day long. So what we've done is designated an area for the dinghy boats where they can go, they can dock, they can stay there unlimited time, as long as they don't go into the area that are reserved for the day boaters and the T-dock as well. So we think this will function much better and provide areas and meet the needs of the different varying boater types that are coming to Cocoa Village. It's significant from what we had, and we're going to revisit it in the future and see if we need to add things or tweak things to it, and we'll go from there. So, but again, I do want to thank Alan and Brad for their contribution.
Great, okay. We'll close it to council, go to public, start with Brad Whitmore. Brad, how you doing?
I'm good, Henry. How are you?
Pretty good.
Good. Good to see you. Good evening, councilman, mayor, staff. That was a beautiful summation that Steve did. I would like to thank Misters Belden, Fuhrer, and Garganzi for being open. I know. I had to step on a landmine right out of the gate.
You can change your name.
You can straighten me out later. Being open and available and receptive to putting this together to where it made sense to the boating community and helped the business community and the citizens in general, and captured the essence of the 2008 Cocoa Master Waterfront Plan. After many months and many iterations and input from many sources, there were at least a dozen people beyond me that weighed in on this. I was just a mouthpiece. We have come up with basically a legal document that was Marinized to where it not only met the needs of the community, but was understandable to the end users, that being the boaters. It's a meaningful, workable plan to be implemented to increase the functionality of our facilities and improve our waterfront vistas. So that is all very good. It is a very well done document. It provides a solid baseline for our existing facilities at this time. And beyond that, it is set for further refinement and expansion as our facilities improve and increase. As it stands, this ordinance will enhance the boating experience both for local boaters by making more dock space more readily available to them to come in. It will also increase the open arm welcomeness for ICW cruisers to say, come in and use our T-dock, we welcome you, rather than you're prohibited from doing it because many people did it anyway. Both of these items make sense from not only a commerce standpoint, but a recreation standpoint. And for people that aren't boating and are just in the village, it's kind of like, how does that help them? Well, downtown Disney's a pretty cool place, but it's not until you throw the characters in that it really gets the pizzazz, and we want to punch it up and have a viable, vibrant, energetic waterfront that people like being part of. In general, this is an exciting time for the waterfront in Cocoa. We've got a lot of things going on. We're getting ready to do sunken vessel removal. We've got 5 boats that are slated to disappear. That is huge. That is huge. The mangroves have been trimmed in Lee Winter Park. That's huge. Riverfront Park has been improved for events, so that's going to bring more in. All these are very positive things. In addition to that, state of Florida had some interesting legislation in 2016. They passed a at-risk vessel ordinance that gives some teeth and some clarification and some enforcement background and penalties associated with people that have let their boats go too far before they get designated as derelicts. That should help our cause. Additionally, the state ponied up $1.4 million that FIND is going to supplement as it can for further vessel, sunken derelict vessel removal. So these are all huge things. So getting to the punchline here, on behalf of myself and the Historic Cocoa Village Association, I would like to encourage the council to vote for this ordinance, 01216, because I do believe it is in our community's best interest. Thank you very much.
Brad, thank you. Very, very good.
Thank you for your participation.
Yeah, a lot of hard work there.
Ambassador.
Yeah, Ambassador Whitmore. Anybody else would like to speak on this ordinance? Okay, we're going to close it to the audience.
I'm getting to you fast.
Don't move. Oh, you need a second?
Second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Great job. Thank you very much, guys, gals.
Bring the vessels in.
Okay.
Mike, that means you can bring your phone too.
I bring it in all the time, baby.
We can go for a ride?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. All right, so we're going to move on to...
Here we go. Thank you all. Thank you all for waiting, this segment right here. Go ahead, Mr. Mayor.
Absolutely. Assistant City Manager?
This next item is to approve a resolution establishing the naming of certain parks and structures within the city of Cocoa. Before you, in the resolution, you have 4 structures or areas to be named, one of which, Gondola, Southeast Gondola Riverfront Park Rotunda, after Mildred Williams, former councilwoman. The Northeast Gondola for the former principals of Monroe High, Benjamin Morse, James Green, Dave Johnson, and Fernan Prospect Park in the city of Cocoa for Larry and Demita Gilmore, to be named Gilmore Grounds. And the fourth is Cocoa Manor Park to be named Autumn's Place, after Cocoa resident, businessman David Lightholder.
I'm laughing because you have his wife look at it.
I'm not his wife.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, well, you know what I'm saying. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Available tonight at Russ's girlfriend.
Okay. Let the good times roll. That's all I can say, Dave. Okay. Well,
Okay.
look, are you finished? Can I say something, Mr. Mayor?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
First of all, I want to say thank you to all the families on behalf of the great city of Cocoa and our illustrious mayor. I want to say thank you to all the family members for giving a part of your life and sharing your loved ones with us. That speaks volumes. And I am tickled pink. You guys have seen me in the pink tutu, so you know I don't mind wearing the color pink. But I want to say thank you for opening up your heart. And yes, ma'am, yes, sir, you too are part of America's dream. You too are part of America's history. You too are part of everything. And you too are Cocoans. And that's why I love you all. We all love you. Can I say one other thing, Mr. Mayor, with your blessings and council blessings? First of all, the 3 principals, Mr. Morris, Mr. B.A. Morris, he has family members that attend the AME Church. The second one, I have my yearbook, one of the programs here, Mr. Green. And third, Dr. Johnson. We have Mrs. Juanita Johnson. Ma'am, I know it's a little difficult, but with you, would you please stand and let us give you a round of applause, ma'am? Because we're always talking about your husband, but beside every great man, there's a dynamic lady. And Mrs. Johnson, if you would share with the blessings of our mayor, would you like to share any information or your thoughts to see the great works that you have in conjunction with your husband have shared with us in the city of Cocoa? You care to give us any words of wisdom, ma'am? What? Okay. Okay. Well, let me be first to say I want to come by your house and get some of that world famous cake of yours, ma'am. Next, Mr. Mayor, my classmate Larry Gilmore.
Yep,
Here
Larry.
again, we're talking about a dynamic duo, his beautiful wife, Demita.
Yep.
Larry, would you stand to be recognized? Let's give Mr. Larry Gilmore and his wife, Demita. Y'all stand now, come on. Larry has his Mother here, last where's your mother? 54-9. I was going to say that for last. The reason why Mr. Gilmore is saying that, because when I was a young, slender, sleek individual, I attended Kennedy Middle School. We played the great Clear Lake Rockets. We played them at the gymnasium. I'm happy to say out of the 9 points, I scored 5, and Nino Lyons scored the other 4. And Clear Lake beat us 54-9, a day that I will never, ever forget. Larry, you want to introduce your family here too as well, that's here with you? Come on, Mike. That's his mom. So, right on, Stan, yeah. All right, job well done. Yeah, I see that. Okay, anyone else? Come on.
Who?
Thank you, Reggie from Jacksonville.
Oh.
Okay, good deal. Congratulations, the Gilmore Ground, because you two were instrumental in helping and shaping Fern and Prospect. I remember the events that you all will have right at your own very garage. Team Coco, yes, and the police department too as well. And you're absolutely right, from computers to making music. And music touches us all. Yes, sir. Do we have anyone from Mildred Williams' family here? Okay, the person, let's give the Gilmore again a round of applause. And the family, Mrs. Johnson, I want to say thank you, Mrs. Brown, for bringing Mrs. Johnson. I'm glad that you were able to see it. But last but not least, Mr. FPNLY, because he lights up all of our lives, Dave Lightholder. Would you please stand and be recognized, sir, with the mayor's blessing, of course.
Yep.
That Autumn's Place is awesome, sir. Thank you. So I thank you and your family for doing such an outstanding job. I got you, Mr. City Manager. Yes, sir, and that's the great thing about it. You know, teamwork. Together we can accomplish more, and we are making it happen. So thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Yep. Yes,
God
sir.
bless everyone. To the Mildred Williams family, we thank you very much for sharing Mildred with us. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Absolutely.
On that note, and I would like to make a motion to approve.
Second?
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Congratulations.
You all
Great.
are
Thank
worth the wait, and I thank you.
The weight in gold.
Thank you very much.
All right, Michael?
All right.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, newlywed, Mr. City Manager, and Matt. We will have a celebration.
When
Yeah, we
now?
No, not now, big dog.
Coming
We're
up.
going to have one, sir. Pepe Le Pew.
All right, this is a request to approve a street closure in association with the proposed Juneteenth special event to be held on June 18, 2016. The Alliance for Neighborhood Restoration conducts the annual Juneteenth Arts and Cultural Festival in the city of Cocoa. This event does not take place in the CBD. It will not be counted, the road closure will not be counted towards the 24 days allowable for street closures in the CBD. The request is for Pineapple Avenue between State Road 520 and Barbara Jenkins, Stone Street between Fisk and Mango, and Temple Street between Pineapple and Mango. The closure would be from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Motion carries 3-0. All right, so, Steve?
Yes, Mayor, this is a request from the owner of property located at 1201 Tulip Lane for a request to forgive a code enforcement lien. Code Enforcement Board held a public hearing on June 16, 2011. At that time, the board found the owner at the time in violation of Section 61003, protective treatment. The Code Board ordered the lien be recorded against the property effective July 17, 2011. The lien ran at $100 per day until a compliance was achieved on August 1, 2015. The lien is $147,600. Staff recommended the lien be reduced to $500, and the Code Enforcement Board at its meeting on March 17, 2016, by a vote of 6-1, voted that the lien be reduced to $500.
Okay. Anybody want
So moved.
Second.
to? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right.
Same again.
Yeah, sing it. Steve?
Okay, and the next is, again, at the same property, code enforcement lien forgiveness request, 1201 Tulip Lane. The Code Enforcement Board held a public hearing June 18, 2015, finding the owner in violation of boarded up buildings, protective treatment, and roofs and drainage. The Code Enforcement Board order lien was recorded against the property July 15, 2015. This lien ran at $250 per day until compliance was achieved on November 30th, 2015. This lien is $34,500. And again, Code Enforcement Board at its meeting on March 17, 2016, recommended by a 6-1 vote that the lien be reduced to $500, and staff is recommending follow the recommendation of the Code Board.
Okay. What was the original, Steve, what was the original price?
$34,500.
Okay.
And all those violations took place under the previous owner.
Anybody want to make it?
Yeah. Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Come on, man. Pepe.
Come on, Pep. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Steve, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Assistant City Manager, Mr. Wynn.
Fifth item is for consideration of a donation application of the Marine Resources Council of East Florida Incorporated.
You can't do this.
Oh.
2 members aren't present, they're not going to be able to indicate whether or not they're willing to each
Donate
member.
their portion.
Would you get,
Table it.
See,
I
what?
think you need to table it.
Yeah, let's table it.
Yeah. Make
Two
a
members
motion to
aren't-
table, since the two are not here.
Motion to
Realize
table.
that.
Second.
Donation, all right.
Okay, all in favor?
Make it happen. Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Let's roll on that one. All right.
Well, you need 5 votes on that?
Yeah, the allocation of funds, sir.
Yeah.
If you want to donate your $200, or if you want to donate it to.
Not unless the 3 members want to donate collectively $333 and, your respective funds to move it on.
Is it something that we must address right away, immediately, expeditiously, or is there something that we can hopefully get on, to missing members?
We can bring it to the next council meeting.
Yeah, let's give it a shot. I don't have a problem with that.
No,
Mr.
no
Mayor,
problem.
I support that, Mr. Mayor, if you support it.
Yep, we're good.
All right, city.
Okay. Jack?
Yes, sir. Item 8, under city business, number 1, approve a resolution waiving the competitive bid process for the purpose of making a sole source purchase for replacement and installation services for one lime slaker from the Water Treatment and Controls, Pensacola, Florida, and to approve a resolution amending the FY 2016 budget.
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Jack, thank you.
Okay, sir.
Terry?
Yes, sir. Item number 2 is asking you to approve a resolution amending the FY16 budget to establish the reserve for health insurance, our self-funded insurance, and to establish the FY16 budget for the health insurance fund, and I'm available for questions.
So move.
Okay.
All in favor?
Great job, Ms. Jones.
Aye. Any opposed?
Butler, excuse me, Mrs. Butler. Excuse me. I'm reading something on the paper.
3-0.
Forgive me, Mrs. Butler. Okay.
Okay, Jack?
Yes, sir. Item number 3, authorize the city manager to approve change order number 1 to purchase order number 67114, issued to Ace Flow Control, Longwood, Florida, for additional testing, repair, and replacement activities associated with the city's cross-connection control program, Project WS13BC, and approve a resolution adjusting the FY 2016 budget. I'm here to answer your questions if you have any.
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Good. Keep it rolling. Terry?
Yes, item number 4 is asking approval of a resolution adjusting the FY16 budget, accounting for 4 firefighters' retirement accrual payouts using a combination of excess overtime budget and contingency.
So move.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay. 3-0. All right, so, Jack?
Yes, sir. One more time tonight, under multi-year contracts number 5, to award bid B-16-05 COC, sellers Water Reclamation Facility MCC and Conduit Replacement Project to Chincor Electric Incorporated, Enterprise, Florida, for construction of the motor control centers 1 through 6 and conduit replacement, Project WS1222, to approve as a multi-year contract from 2016 through 2017, to approve a resolution amending the FY 2016 budget, and to approve a resolution authorizing the city manager to approve change orders in the amount not to exceed $212,218.20, which is 10% contingency, and to authorize the city manager to execute the contract.
So move.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Keep it rolling.
There you go. All right.
You missed your opportunity, Bubba.
Okay, Terry?
Yes. Item number 6 is to approve a multi-year contract addendum number 3 renewal to participate in a cooperative purchase agreement for printing, sorting, stuffing, and mailing statement billing for monthly water bills utilizing the City of Melbourne, Florida service agreement under item number 12-133-0-2012, which was awarded by Melbourne City Council to Access Inc. on March 15, 2013, and to authorize the city managers to sign the appropriate contract. I'd just like to mention that Access is now called Cathedral. Their name changed, and so I want to make that clear. Same company.
Okay. Okay. Any questions, or you want to move on it?
Nope. So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Ball over here.
Any opposed? All right. Okay, John, for Assistant City Manager?
Item number 7 is to approve a multi-year addendum to and reinstatement of the municipal services agreement for Emma Jewell Charter School Incorporated for student busing services.
So move.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Here's 3-0. Jack, Terry, thanks. I don't know how we did the pepper and back and forth, but that was good. So, thank you. Just want to go, anybody in the audience from an advisory board or a committee that would like to speak? Okay, we're going to move to, Harry, you want to say anything?
Just a reminder that the Volunteer Appreciation Luncheon is this Friday
Yeah.
from 11:30 to 1:30.
11:30 to 1:30. Okay. And, thank you. Tammy?
No report, sir.
Thank you.
Oh, come on.
Sir, just one item, I know you've been interested in the tank.
What?
The structural improvements complete at this time.
Okay, good.
And the contractor was what they call tuning the structural members, those supports, tightening those up so that they're properly tensioned to support any kind of sway during a wind load. And so the next step is really to chlorinate and clear the tank for use.
Great.
And so over the next couple of weeks, we'll be, putting chlorine in there, disinfecting inside of the tank, which hasn't had water in it now for about 14 months or so, 15 months.
Great.
And getting that back online, and we're hoping to have that done in the next couple of weeks, so.
That's great news.
A little bit of touch-up here and there on the buckles, but it's not in contact with the tank, so we'll be doing that now simultaneously, but the actual bowl and the legs and everything, we can go ahead and fill that up now that the tuning is done. So we'll be back online here, and hopefully.
Wow, it's been a while since we.
Yeah, it has.
Yeah. Good to hear.
That's all I have tonight.
Great, thank you. Steve, anything else?
Just add quickly our update on our Florida Ave streetscape project. We are finally out to bid on that, so that'll be out 45 days. And then, once we get through selecting contractor, we're hoping late summer,
Excuse me.
early fall, we'll actually begin construction. We're looking at about an 18-month project time for that.
Okay. And about how long?
About 18 months.
I mean, until it starts?
Probably in the fall,
Oh, okay.
late summer.
Okay, great. Thank you. Ed?
Just a quick report on Peachtree Street. The paving on the east and west side's done. A little piece in the middle at the intersection of Fisk and Peachtree is all that's left. They've been pouring curbs. You'll see that the road's a lot narrower than it was. Give it more of the community feel and a little more pedestrian friendly. There will be a short time when the road will be closed, and that'll be advertised on the city's website. There's some utility work and some other work that they have to get in the road and close it down for a couple days. So that'll be notified on the city's website and through social media.
Okay.
But it's moving.
That's good.
Wasn't there supposed to be a bike lane?
No, there's no bike lane. It's called Sharrows. The bikes will share the roadway.
Boy, they don't leave much room for the
Really?
cars.
Well, they have a wider sidewalk, sir.
Yeah, well, that's it, but then you get the bikes gonna be on the road, not the sidewalk.
Jump
Yep.
that curb and get on that sidewalk.
You're gonna be jumping the
There's
curb,
only
all
so
right.
much you can put in 50
Right.
feet.
Life's a risk, right? Don?
Great job, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, great job. Thank you.
Makes me
Terry?
think it's Holly up there.
No report.
Okay, good. Chief?
I have two quick things. I just want to remind everybody that this week is National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week. I'd like to say thank you to all of our comm center personnel and comm center personnel nationwide for what they do, because without them, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. And secondly, Tour de Force will be here Thursday. I don't have an exact time. I know we sent it out. I know Carrie put it out. I'll try to send something out when I get a better time that morning, but
gonna be
usually it's sometime between 11:30, 12 o'clock, and 2 is what we're expecting.
Where are they going to be? Peter?
It will be at the Civic Center.
Civic Center, okay.
Coming back to the Civic Center. Yeah, they said they really enjoyed the air conditioning when they make the stop, so we're back at Civic Center this year. So if you have a chance, come out and say hi. And that's it.
Okay. Thanks.
No
Chief
report,
Prince.
Mr. Mayor.
Nope. Okay. Thank you. Super Attorney Gargoyle.
No report. Oh, good.
Okay. We're going to go to Assistant City Manager.
I have a couple of items. The first one being, as you may recall, in last year's budget, you'd budgeted some funds for the purposes of refurbishing the batting cages at Stradley Park for Cocoa Little League, and they took it upon themselves to make those improvements. And when we came back to them, looking to assist in the project, they simply asked that we provide some security fencing for the batting cage and the throwing lanes to ensure that, they're not misused. And they'd provided us with a home plate plaque in recognition. I'll pass that down.
Nice.
John, thanks.
Very nice, Mr. Mayor.
And then the second item, just as that project was budgeted, also the Endeavor Elementary Pavilion. Those funds were distributed to Endeavor Elementary, and the students responded, and they provided us with a book full of letters of appreciation from all the students.
Wow.
And
School board did.
Yeah, we'll read them, put them in the...
Yep.
They matched it. They matched.
Good deal. Principal Wilson, great job, man. Very nice. Very nice.
You didn't draw the first one.
No, I did. I'm the second one.
And so we'll keep you apprised as well on the construction of that pavilion. They intend to have a grand opening, at which they want you all there.
We'll be there. Thank you.
Great.
Good job, Matt.
And that's it for tonight.
Okay. Matt, thanks. Mr. City Manager?
No board.
Mr. Mayor, members of council, I just have one item. As you know, we've been trying to work and finalize the strategic plan. And if you could just please, for those members that have not forwarded their comments, or for those that don't have any further comments, please just advise either Matt or myself so we can schedule it to come before council for adoption. We'd like to get that done prior to the budget process really kind of falling upon us. And also because you take that and you look at the survey in terms of funding priorities and, things that need to be worked on. So we would like to get that completed. Okay. So if you have not had that opportunity to just say, I have no further comments, since I know everybody's reviewed it more than once. So it'd be greatly appreciated. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Okay. Wow.
Good. Nothing for you, Mike?
Yes, sir. Short and sweet. S&S, short and sweet. Real quick, first of all, I want to say I had a wonderful time at Taste of America with Beit Shemesh, our sister city. We had a great time at the pot dinner. And I want to say thank you very much to Kathy, President White, Ron Shelton, and the ladies. They did a phenomenal job. They honored Ziva, who was part of the education, and they provided a cookbook, one of Ziva's many special recipes. And we had a great time at Temple Israel. Next, I want to say thank you very much, Brother Belden, Steve, for the vegetation improvement there at Lee Winter Park. You can clearly see the improvement. I thoroughly enjoy that when I'm docking and launching my boat from Lee Winter Park. You can see that. And a lot of people are thoroughly impressed. And if we can, Mr. City Manager, we can maybe have one of our employees continue with their maybe licensing, since we have a 1 year period with 2 years. Maybe someone that could maybe pick up from where that particular company left off in reference of vegetation, pruning the trees, the mangrove trees, keep it at a certain level. Mr. Belden, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
right?
well,
Gotta be certified.
Right, send them
Right.
to school so we can save money, that's all.
certified mangrove trimmer.
We used to have somebody on here years ago.
Yes. But I think they have to be certified, right?
Right.
It can't be a horticulturist, whatever it's
Right.
called, true trim. You got to have that state certification by the great state of Florida.
Yep.
Rick Scott. Good. All right, next on the list, want to talk to you about potentially our new, well, maybe potential location there on Dixon Boulevard, sir. Across the street is the Hawthorne Apartments, and I know we purchased the property there. Many of the kids out of that community, I talked to Matt about this yesterday at this event that we had, this meeting yesterday with Mr. Weegriff, Matt, Councilman Tate, and myself, and Scott from Department of Transportation. Maybe potentially that area, Exeter, that community in the back there in District, that's Councilman Furbish's district, they do not have a playground there. And I was wondering, since we did ascertain that property there on Dixon Boulevard, if possibly some playground equipment or whatever the case may be, something to think about for the future, for the kids, because they have nowhere to go to play. Excuse me, I guess I'm finally becoming a man, going through that change in life. So please consider that future thoughts and many endeavors. Buy local, spend local, keep it local. Why you sliding away from me, man? Don't worry about it, brother, man. Tony Stewart's gonna win it all. So I say thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. Thank you very much.
Very
Short
good.
and sweet.
Like, very good. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Ed.
I just have one thing, yeah, I was blessed yesterday, my granddaughter gave birth to my first great-grandson, 6 pounds, 5 ounces, a bull rear all the way.
Yeah.
That's all I have, thank you.
And Mr. Mayor, can I say one more thing? I enjoyed Sibling Day. I saw many pictures of all of our council members and their families. Mrs. Ed, I saw your family. Good girl. I said, go on, girl. Look at you. So I enjoyed seeing a lot of City of Coco's.
All those sisters, you like that?
Oh, man, that's the land of milk and honey, girl. You know, I'm not crazy. But anyway, it was a pleasure meeting everyone's family. And I saw it on Facebook. That's what I'm talking about. A lot of you all were showing your family pictures.
That was cool.
So that was good, clean fun, good, clean family fun. And that's what we're all about, promoting the great City of Cocoa.
Yep.
And I'm through, Mr. Mayor. Why you holding your button, man? Let your button go.
That's pretty good. All right, in closing, whoops. Yeah, I had a question for Matt. Our new PD cars, do we have flags on? We put flags on. We do? Because the ones I've seen lately don't have it. All right.
Man, did you say you want some water tower, a picture of the tower in the car too as well, man?
It's the same.
Just a decal,
Okay.
something.
That's good. Okay, we'll check that out. Good. I know we got a lot of new cars on hand, so, all right. Also, I got an email, and I apologize, I can't remember the person's last name, Harriet, but she's an alumni from Monroe, Mike. And they were asking us to, there was actually a few months of trying to get a memorial marker or some kind of marker or sign for the school. And I was wondering if we can look into that. I'll get you the email.
Is it the Provost Park, the playing field? Because we've provided them the
No.
information. They have to go through the state. They want a historical designation as the process is state-driven.
It's the same group.
It did.
Okay, and I'll give you the
provided them
email.
the information already.
Oh, okay, good. Well, I got it today. so, you know, it's new. The volunteer lunch, Carrie, I'll see you Thursday, and we'll get that buttoned down. Hopefully everybody can be there. Car show, can't wait for that. That's a great way to show our city off. The fire station, I was talking to John, and I just want to make sure that are we on schedule for the fire stations?
We are.
We are? Are we on budget?
We've had continuing discussions. We understand council's directive.
Right.
The $8 million is the amount.
Is the amount. Now,
and then if by chance there's, we are doing, actually there was a meeting this morning, a bid meeting where they were able to ask questions, and one of the add items is the EOC. You know, as we know, we did not get funded by the.
and that has something, well, let's say.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
but so it just, we are in the process, you'll be seeing coming up before you, a number of resolutions and or items related to us going out and borrowing and pledging the fire assessment revenues
Right.
that we committed when you raise those rates
Right.
to fund the debt for the fire stations. That being said, you will not be able to, fund the EOC through that fire assessment. However, there may be opportunities or alternative financing or funding, but it's all predicated upon the stations coming in at the $8 million as we,
I haven't-
your directive.
Publicly, I haven't talked about it because it was going so well, and I'm sure it still is.
It is.
But let's make sure that we stay on budget. And because our great governor, what he did,
Won't help
by
us.
vetoing, he won't help us or anybody else in Brevard County. He put us in a change our planning. Okay, I mean like Jolie Smith Center. Before I leave, I'd like to see it anew and designed and built, and I don't want this is kind of part of the overall thinking. Obviously the parking structure, we're going to put that back and probably referend it or figure out a way to do it where it's palatable, but not this year, but we got to make sure that the fire stations get built right and they get built on budget, okay? Because this is going to hurt us or help us.
I can just assure you that all of staff, matter of fact, we met this morning after the meeting,
Yeah.
and we are all on that page.
Okay.
And we understand the necessity and the importance of coming in at or under budget.
Yeah.
And then with regard to the other items that you mentioned, and I heard the one item that was mentioned earlier about the Fisk corridor, those are items you'll see when we'll discuss those at the Budget Priorities Workshop
Correct.
that we still have to have. We are, as you know, we got to run those models, kind of see where we are. We're kind of currently looking at where we are mid-year. Can tell you, generally revenues not come in at the same rate that we had expected.
Right.
So we're kind of monitoring some expenditures to make sure that we don't, you don't want to use reserves to fund recurring costs.
Right.
So if we need to, then we'll make adjustments. We don't believe we will, but we are monitoring that. So I would say we typically do that workshop, last year we did, I think, May 19th.
Yeah.
We may give it another week, so want to have an idea. I've already met with myself and Matt, have met with each of the directors related to the budgets and priorities and what's being asked. The CIP is closed.
Right.
In terms of the process is closed, and finance is compiling everybody's requests for for myself and the finance committee and the Matt's review that we can, but we'll be bringing those back before you at that budget priority workshop, and plus ideally we'll have an understanding of where we are with regards to our maintaining, our position on in our
Right.
financial analysis model being
I mean-
fiscally sustainable.
This is a big deal. Fire stations are a big deal. It's going to show, a lot of positive things in our city. But I want to say that overall, our strategy as far as spending money in all four corners of the city and, fairly in the right amount and the means of bringing it back to we're better, so we're the best we can be. I understand all that and we're going to do all that. But since the governor vetoed, we're not sitting back and wah. We're going to roll forward and we're going to switch things around. and make sure that we're going to meet our city goals, our citizen goals, you know. So I appreciate that. So but we'll get in that in the workshop.
Yes.
It's good to talk about it. Mike, anything about that? Anything?
No, sir, you're good.
Good.
So with that.
Okay, yeah. All right, and thank you, Matt, for the strategic plan, and he gave me a briefing this week, and we talked about it, and it was good. I know he brought you some notes, right? Also, again, Tyler Furbish, our heart's with you, buddy. Get better and get back. We need you. And Brenda has the flu, so that's it. So we got Memorial Day coming up, July 4th, summer. It's gonna be a lot of patriotic stuff going on in the city. So let's get ready for it. That's it. So,
Motion adjourned.
yep.
Second,
All in favor?
let's make it happen.
Aye.
Great job.
Thank you.
Larry.
Larry, where did you buy those pens? Where did you get those pens?